day 35 of the war in Israel, and as always, of the war in Iran, or the war is happening, of course, in Israel as well, as Iran is sending missiles towards Israel. Israel is still, feeling some of the damage coming from Iran. Thankfully, not as harsh as you normally do during war, and definitely not as much as Iran is receiving. Yet it is still something that is happening. So today, welcome to the Daily Objective. I'm Daniel. I'll be taking you through today just a few sort of keeping things in order of what's going to happen today. So as you can see on the thumbnail, we'll take a look at the recent podcast. I'm not sure how many clips do I really want to go through, but we will take a look at Theo's appearance on Joe Rogan podcast. So we'll take a look at that on the Joe Rogan Experience. We'll take a look at that. Then we have many other clips that I found that I think will be very interesting to go through. I think I have a couple of articles. I'm not sure if I will go through them, but that is something we might do today. And of course, just like yesterday, a portion of today's live stream will be members only, specifically at the end of the show, the last segment. And I think I prepared, it's going to be members only, and it's going to be Candace Owens with Bassem Youssef. Now, this is an older one. That's why I decided to, usually on these open shows, I like to keep up with the news. I like to keep up with what's really happening, or what's happening sort of right now or in the last couple of days. But with this one, this has been that has been a video we wanted to do at some point. I think it came out like 2 months ago. We wanted to do, we never ended up doing it. I cannot remember exactly why, but I think it would be appropriate to go back and cover, because I remember a few gems from it, although I'm not even sure how much we'll go through that, but I will try to. Okay, maybe I can bring up a few updates from this war. Let me pull this up. So something I've just seen is that Iran has shot down a US fighter jet in Iran. This has been confirmed by the United States. The US Armed Forces are carrying out an emergency operation to rescue the pilots. Hopefully we will be able to get them, although and now I'm seeing a report that one of them might have been saved already. Okay, so one of them might have, I think it's 2 soldiers if I didn't mention it. So one of them might have been saved already, thankfully. Let's hope, let's hope we can get them, because if Iran gets their hands on them, well, that might just mean, American military hostages, which would be a terrible situation to be in. But hopefully we can get them. There has been more cluster munitions falling on Israel, specifically in Kiryat Ata, injuring 1 person. That happened today. And what else was there? Now I've seen some developments on Hezbollah, specifically some comments that Israel might not actually go fully in, or full disarmament of Hezbollah might not be the goal. We might cover that a little bit later if I can find out more stuff about it. But for now, I'm skipping the obvious stuff, like, of course, more attacks from Iran to the Gulf states coming on. Of course, we are still blowing up Iran, meaning America and Israel, which absolutely should be happening. But that's most of the news at the start. So with that, let's take a look at Joe Rogan and Theo's appearance on Joe Rogan. Specifically, we'll start with this, as you've seen on the thumbnail, and then we'll go into a little bit longer clip.
And even Bill Clinton said that about Netanyahu. Bill Clinton said Netanyahu wants war so he could stay in power.
For sure, dude. People call him the yarmulke Hitler. That's what they call him.
Who are these people?
Everybody does.
Which people?
Countless.
People?
Huh?
What are you saying?
What do you mean people? You talking about
What are you talking about,
Black
dog?
folks? What are you saying?
No, I don't know
Oh,
what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
Let's not draw conclusions.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He seems like a great guy.
No, not really.
Well, it's just a scary time.
It's a scary time because people are willing to blow people up with fucking drones and missiles, and they're shooting into apartment buildings and blowing up schools, and it's like, fuck, man.
And we didn't hear
And even Bill Clinton.
Okay, so maybe I should have split this a little bit into two segments. But like again, Theo won. I mean, what can you call this but anti-Semitism? Like calling Netanyahu Yarmaka, or Yarmaka. I don't know how you really pronounce it. Yarmaka Hitler, Kippa Hitler. I know how to pronounce the other one. Okay, Hitler was probably one of the most terrifying, one of the worst dictators in the world, whose one of the primary goals of coming to power was straight up to kill Jews, like exterminate Jews. That was the goal that he was willing to. I mean, I just recently watched a little bit more documentaries from Nazi Germany, and yeah, that was the goal. His rhetoric from the start was anti-Semitism. His motivations were anti-Semitism. His hatred of Jews was very prominent in the party. It was the main part. It was the big platform that Hitler managed to rally people around, and that, of course, ended up with the final solution of actually exterminating all of the Jews, and ended up exterminating about 6 million Jews, specifically during World War II in the Nazi extermination camps. Right? Who is Netanyahu? Netanyahu is an Israeli politician who is in the recent years, I mean, long-time politician and long-time leader of Israel, actually willing, at least somewhat, to do something about Palestinians in Gaza, to do something about Palestinians in Judea and Samaria, to do something about Hezbollah, to do something about the Houthis, and to finally do something about Iran. So he wants to make Jews live. So let's call him something that, a person that wanted to kill Jews. And again, it's no accident. Like, they don't call him, Yarmaka Mao Zedong, or they don't call him other dictators like Yarmaka Stalin or Yarmaka. It's the only dictators I can, Castro or whatever. They call him specifically the one that tried to exterminate all the Jews. So, a person who wants Jews to live, well, that's the worst person there is, right? Because he wants Jews to survive. He wants Jews to live. That's why the comparison matters. And, they might try to defend themselves. Well, no, it's because of genocide. Well, there's no genocide going on. And you don't call this the other side. You don't call Palestinians Hitler. You don't call Palestinians Nazis. You don't call Palestinians, you don't call Iranians Nazis, as you actually should. Because that is much closer to what it actually is. They want to exterminate Jews, and they want to establish a complete authoritarian state. That's what Palestinians want to do. They want to establish an authoritarian state. Not Netanyahu. Now Netanyahu, I think, has some problems when it comes to. I think he might even be, might have some. I don't even want to give him like authoritarian ambitions. More of a, try to get more political control inside of State of Israel, or more political control, let's say central control. Which I think is bad, but Israelis are pushing against it, right? He wasn't able to do so. He wasn't able to get, or the right wasn't able to get through to judicial reform, right? Which is something you could say was maybe authoritarian leaning, which even that sounds a bit too harsh to say that even from me, who might disagree with that. So yeah, that's what I call. And again, when it comes to the way they comment about the war, right? What did Theo wants? Well, let's listen to it again, just so everybody's on the same page. To the latter part.
Oh, I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're.
Oh, well, let's just comment on this. It's like he calls him Yarmaka Hitler. It's like people saying it. Say that you say. You call him Yarmaka Hitler. You called him that, not people. You decided to pick that up. You decided to pick that up and call him that. Own it. No, stop being a bitch. Like, at least own that you want the Nazis, that you want to exterminate Nazis. I wish. That you want to exterminate Jews. That you want Netanyahu to be dead. That you hoped Netanyahu has been killed. I mean, Joe Rogan, when he was on with who was that? Mark Normand. He was. They were talking. Joe Rogan was bringing up like Netanyahu's dead, right? He was. I'm sure he would have been happy about it, because for some reason they only want the Jewish leaders to be exterminated. For some reason they even hate like Zelensky, right? Kind of weird. Again, a Jewish politician, and for some reason we are more, or Joe Rogan seems to be sort of don't like the Ukrainian war. Somehow it always ends up with the Jews. Somehow it always ends with the side that is actually at least relatively fighting for the good. So so that's the second part, sort of like not even owning their anti-Semitism. But let's listen to the rest of it.
You're saying.
Okay.
Let's not draw conclusions.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He seems like a great guy.
No, really.
Well, it's just a scary time.
It's a scary time because people are willing to blow people up with fucking drones and missiles, and they're shooting into apartment buildings and blowing up schools, and it's like, fuck, man.
And we didn't hear
And even Bill Clinton said that about Netanyahu. Bill Clinton said Netanyahu wants war.
So this normally with this last statement I would be a little bit partial. Like I think it can be interpreted multiple ways, but if you take everything in context with what Joe Rogan says and even Theo says, they are criticizing specifically America, right? It's not the fault of Iran for blowing up the Gulf states and blowing up Israel. It's America blowing up schools, blowing up apartment buildings, blowing up this is just what we do. Like absolutely. Like these guys would be. Somebody says the voice, the sound, or the volume are much different. Yeah, I will fix that in a little bit. I don't know if I can set it up quickly enough. So yeah, they are talking about he's talking about like blowing up schools, blowing up all of that, and yeah, again, like putting into America, like what I wanted to go into, like these guys would be supporting Nazis, like absolutely. They would be fighting for or they would be making propaganda for the Nazis, right? Why do we have to blow each other up? Why are people so mean to each other? Why do we have to go and blow up Germans? Well, because they attacked us. The same with Iran, because they attacked us. Go listen. These guys are big fans of Trump, no? Joe Rogan had Trump on his show. Theo had Trump on his show. These guys are major supporters of Trump. So go actually listen to what he says. Go listen to his original speech on February 28th, when this war has started. He listed out specifically why we are going to war with Iran. I think very well. We went through it yesterday again, just because I wanted to really check it about what has happened so far. And interestingly enough, he has been actually pretty open and honest about what he was going to do and what he did. Like, if you actually follow his original statements, now it might have not been exactly what I wanted to see, but it was absolutely what he said he would do. So there is nothing crazy going on here. There's nothing unique going on here. He said he was going to do something, and that's what he's doing. Like what? This is the problem with Trump. You had no problem with his ICE stuff, no problem with his anti-immigration stuff, no problem with his tariffs, no problem with his authoritarianism, no problem with his trying to overthrow an election. But this is where we draw the line. Defending American interests, defending Jewish people. That's you're going too far. Trump is going too far with that. He shouldn't do that. Is really my sound low? Well, let me. I don't. At least from what I'm hearing, I don't think my sound is that much higher. But okay, I'm gonna boost it here, at least locally, and bring this microphone closer to me, so hopefully it balances each other out. where it says, I can't understand why anyone watches Rogan or Theo. I mean, I'd say Theo is pretty funny. Obviously, I don't watch him anymore. I think, some of my values are very important, and while I find comedy is a very important value, I try to not listen to anti-Semites. I try to not listen to anti-Americans, right? I try to not listen to crazy people. Usually, anybody who went to the Rehab Festival was automatically written off from my list of people I listen to. Or now I never watch his podcast, I should say, but I watch some of his stand-up, and I do find him funny, although not much anymore. Yeah, Tora says this episode hits almost every major anti-Semitic trope. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, that's what happens. Now, with Rogan, yeah, I haven't listened to him in a long time. I used to listen to maybe, I was like a long time ago. When I was in high school, I think when I was in like my middle years of high school is when I listened to Joe Rogan. But yeah, I think around the time I discovered objectivism, I stopped. Maybe there was some correlation there. Somebody says, I've never been able to tolerate Joe Rogan. I mean, yeah, I guess depends how recently you started, or when have you first heard from him, but it's kind of hard. And you'll see in the next clip, which is longer, so we'll pause it more, about the stuff that he just simply allows or like is even willing to say. So this is a funny clip because it's from Joe Rogan, and it's actually fact checked by Dropside News for being too pro-Israeli, basically. So that's pretty funny. And I found that, yeah, Joe Rogan, I think he doesn't just have a coherent ideas. It's just a slap of different things. Maybe he does believe, or maybe he's heard, or weird conspiracies. It's hard to say what exactly he is. But let's take a look at this one. It's from the same episode, of course.
I wouldn't call what he does war, but
You mean what they're doing right now in Gaza?
Yeah, and I'm not jumping on you.
Iran is war. That's war. Iran's a real enemy. It's a different.
Are they an enemy to America?
Well, what they are is the largest country in terms of like state-sponsored terrorism. They're the largest sponsor of terrorism. But also you gotta think why. And this is.
So again, I love this, right? It's they're the largest sponsor of terrorism, which, crazy that Joe Rogan acknowledges that. But okay, he says that, props to that. And then he goes, well, you have to think why. And it's like, really? Do we have to justify, like, I know I maybe bring up domestic violence a little bit too much, but imagine, let's say a wife beats up husband, let's make it egalitarian. Would you ask, like, why, I'm sure there was a reason why she did that. I mean, she wouldn't just beat up on him for no reason. There must have been a reason for, like, what are you talking about? Oh, they put 6 million Jews in concentration and then extermination camps. I'm sure they had a reason for it. They wouldn't just do it. I mean, you know what they say about bigotry and racism and anti-Semitism. They are very rational. They have deeper understanding of why it has happened. So he says, did Rogan talk like that for the last 4 years with Russia bombing Ukraine? I mean, as somebody who hasn't watched all of Joe Rogan, I'm sure, like, again, when you're asking something like, did people like Joe Rogan ever condemn the Russian invasion of Ukraine? I mean, I'm sure they do it on some level, right? It's something you probably can't get away with, some like basic words. But what matters much more than sort of like specific condemnations or, specifically talking about Ukraine getting bombed is talking about the fundamentals. Like, is the defense of Ukraine moral? Should the West defend Ukraine? Should we fight against Russia? I think those statements and those discussions are much more important than, asking, have you condemned this act, this specific act that I think is important. I think what's much more important is, again, overall philosophy, an overall overview, or sort of like your overall view of the conflict. let's take a look more.
It's not excusing anybody for Islamist ideology, because it's scary, because they
Okay, at least he's not excusing, so I'll give him props when it's due.
want a global caliphate, right? They're radicals. But you got to go back to what happened in that country.
Although even that, what does it mean? Like he says he doesn't want to excuse it. Now let's go and excuse it. Like you can do one or the other. Like the words only have meaning if you actually stand by them. That's why you know sometimes I joke about like I don't want to psychologize, and then I say and now I'm going to psychologize because you know sometimes I can help myself from starting the sentence saying like I don't want to do this, and then I realize no, I do want to do it. I'm about to do it. So I try to correct myself on saying, okay, I said I'm not going to do it, but then I realized that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. And in the same way, like if you say you don't wanna, like you're either lying to yourself or you allow the dishonesty to be like a simple part of your life. Did you say I don't wanna excuse the Islamism going on in Iran, but I'm gonna excuse it. Like that's what he's about to do. Like if you don't want to do it, just you know, heads up guys, if you don't want to do something, you just can not do it. You know, I was on a call with Razi. I don't know if he's listening to yesterday. I don't know if he's listening now, but I was on call with him I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He was dealing with some things and he said, you know, he might join on a show. I think something like even though he shouldn't. Basically, there's just things he has to deal with right now, so he cannot be on shows. But I'm sure he will be. He should be on shows soon, or back soon. I think definitely. I think within a week, or probably within a few days. I think he was even supposed to be on yesterday, but just has to deal with things a little bit more. But so specifically, what happened is he said something like, you know, I might show up even though I shouldn't. And I said, well, you know what you should do when you shouldn't do something? Well, you shouldn't do it. Like, it's simple. When you have an honest understanding that there's something wrong with something, don't do it. It's pretty simple. That's how it works. If you truly believe in something, then actually stand by that. Somebody says, Daniel pro tip, lower the lows in Equalizer. Right now the bass is too much. Well, the unfortunate part about this microphone is it doesn't have any software, so there is nothing. I don't really know what to do with this one specifically right now, like how to change the setup. I might look into it more, or I might have to get a different microphone. But yeah, I need to play around with it more. But I think somebody said something interesting. Of course, general morals are what matters, but they taking points on how horrible is targeting an apartment with officials or bombing the military regime as this specific thing is horrible. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, they bring it up as this is something new, as this is like never happened. Like this has been happening. Again by Russians, right? Now again, I don't think Russia's war on Ukraine is wrong because they target civilian sites or because you know, they target Kiev or because any of like the specifics. The war is wrong because the war is wrong, because they started a war against a sovereign nation, and they are a dictatorship that absolutely have no even right to defend itself. The Russian state doesn't have a right to exist as it is right now. It's not a legitimate country. It doesn't have it cannot go and invade other countries. I'm not gonna give them moral credit for not attacking civilian sites, and I don't necessarily care like on top if they do attack civilian sites. I like that fundamentally doesn't change my view of them or of the conflict. Same with Iran. Even if they didn't attack any Gulf states, they only attacked America or American bases or Israel or Israeli military bases or anything like that. That wouldn't excuse it. That would still be wrong because they cannot They cannot defend themselves. Yeah, I said it. Iran doesn't have a right to defend itself. It's an illegitimate country that should have been taken out a long time ago, and that absolutely should be taken out right now, since now is the perfect opportunity for that. Okay, with that, let's take a look more.
And if you go back to what happened,
Oh, before we continue further, let me remind people that, of course, as every day, we do have ads on today's live stream, and that helps support ARCUK on all the content we bring you. But if we reach the super chat goal of £50, I think today will be probably shorter, so we just go to £50. We will turn off the ads for the rest of the live stream, including the members only section, which is later on in the show, where we will talk about Candace Owens and with Bassem Youssef. Again, that's going to be the last maybe like half an hour or 20 minutes to half an hour of the show, which will be turned as members only. So YouTube members only, meaning you can become a YouTube member. It's just £5 or $5 or €5. I think it depends which country you're from. And yeah, you'll be able to watch this. I think you will be able to watch it even if you become member now or if you become member later on. All right, let's take a look.
in that country, they tried to nationalize oil. Iran was like a westernized country. Girls were wearing miniskirts. Everybody's hot.
You seen that video from the 70s of Iran?
Yeah, bro. Everybody
Tits are
looked great.
popping.
So
Just popping.
What happened is slowly but surely, and quickly at first, because when they tried to nationalize oil, the CIA swooped in and they fucking got that guy out of office, and they allowed these Islamic, radicalists to start running the country.
Well, that's when.
Okay, so listen to them. Okay, he's talking about history. What did he say? So Iran tried to nationalize the oil. Now this, for some reason, is viewed as like a completely independent action, as if like, yeah, that's neither wrong nor bad. They just tried to do so. Tried to steal from other individuals or from other countries. That's an act of war, by the way. Nationalizing like somebody else, like imagine, like I'm trying to just come up with an example, but there are, for example, Google offices probably in like European states, or any company, any American company. In Slovakia, we had, I think it was sold, but we had US Steel, for example, right? US Steel is a big steel company in America, and we we had it here. Imagine if the Slovak government nationalized that. That would have been an act of war. You cannot go and nationalize a company owned by foreign government. You cannot just do that unilaterally and not expect any consequences. So he's talking about Operation Ajax, which of course he doesn't know anything about. I would recommend checking out Kirk Wilcox for more information about Operation Ajax, because he has done a ton of research on that and had made a great video. His channel is just put Kirk Wilcox. Wilcox is spelled Wilcox. I can just put it in chat. Why am I? It's spelled like this. So I recommend checking his channel out. He has many great stuff, but specifically on Operation Ajax, which again, I'm not fully familiar with myself, but I at least I do not try to not talk about it unless I really have to, and just in a very specific margin. But he is bringing it up, and he's wrong. So yeah, when Prime Minister, I think it was Mossadegh, took power, he did want to nationalize the oil companies. His government was then couped. I think it was much more of a UK operation rather than American operation, but I think America had involvement. So that was when Shah came into power. not Islamists. That's what when Shah came into power. When he talks about the Western Iran, that's what he's talking about. He is talking about the Western Iran that was cued with the help of Western countries. The Islamists took over after that. So he's like complete, because he's trying to blame America for basically trying to keep the oil and then getting the Islamists back in power. No, you're about, as somebody puts in the chat, you're about 25 years off. But again, he just says that, right? And who's gonna challenge him here? Someone says meddling. It's not meddling. Again, they took over property of Western states. What, you want to just roll over? So, like, if you are a tin pot dictatorship, you can just do whatever you want. So you can just kill people, right? Like, if any American ever goes to China, China can just murder them and nothing should happen, right? That's what you're saying, right? Like, there should be no consequences for dictatorships, like violating the rights of people we should protect, specifically, you know, American citizens or British citizens, or whoever it is. And somebody says Mossadegh was democratically elected in Iran. So what? So was Hitler. Does that excuse everything he has done? Who cares? Like, I don't care if Mossadegh, or if the Mojtaba Khamenei, or if Putin, or if Xi Jinping, or if Fidel Castro, whatever, if they took over the state in revolution, or maybe bloodless revolution, or violent revolution, or democratically elected, or some anarchist revolution, or whatever. If they do something that's illegitimate for a state to do, there will be consequences. They nationalized companies that they had no right to do so. There's going to be consequences for that. And there absolutely should be. Somebody says, so it should happen here in the USA. What specifically? What, coup? Or like attack by Iran? No, America is not doing anything illegitimate. Or at least relatively illegitimate. Like, again, I mean, again, I cannot even come up. If you give me an example of what do you think should happen, then I can give you. But you know, I'm not gonna stand for anything illegitimate the country wants to do, and I don't care if it's the will of the people. It was the will of the people to put the Jews in concentration camps. Now you might say, no, they didn't know about it. They knew about it. Now some Germans might have. I mean, the more I learn about the Germans during World War II, the more you know, I'm less sympathetic to them. I never really was that much, to be honest. But yeah, no, there is involvement of the people. Like, you know, when you live in authoritarian dictatorship, it's no secret. You might not know exactly what's happening, but you know. I mean, I talk to people who lived under authoritarian states. You know what's going on, even if they don't want you, and by they I mean like the state apparatus, don't want you to know what really happened. Yeah, Tara says it happened because of the same propaganda happening now. People are being lied to about my people and my country. Absolutely. And people want to believe those lies, right? It's like when Hitler started talking about the Jews being in control of the banks, and Jews being in control of the communists, and Jews being controlled of the global capital. He didn't say that, and everybody was like, "Wow, I've never heard about it." It's like, "Wow, I also believe that. Thank you for telling that out loud, because I believe in that as well." He simply capitalized on it, and that's what these people are doing. They're capitalizing on anti-Semitism. I say these people. I mean Joe Rogan and. Unlike Theo who says, well, some people say that. No, Theo is anti-Semitic. Theo and Joe Rogan capitalize on anti-Semitism. Because for some reason, it's okay to say, you cannot say Donald Trump is Hitler. Because, what will happen if you keep calling, if you call Trump Hitler? But yeah, Yarmulke Hitler. We can call Netanyahu Hitler. Because anti-Semitism is okay. But, you know, criticism on our side is not. Now, I don't think calling Trump Hitler is necessarily even appropriate or even counts as criticism. But again, that's the double standard that is allowed. That Joe Rogan in this instance and Theo want to go. I'm trying to remove from my vocabulary they, try to be more specific about who I'm calling out. Is the isolating for the USA even viable with how the economy of the US and the dollar is so dependent on dominating the world? If USA goes isolation, wouldn't their economy collapse? I mean, depends what you mean isolation, and I also don't think dollar is dominating the world. I mean, it is dominant in the terms of like it's being used, but it's mainly being used because other countries benefit from it. Now, America benefits from it also in certain instances. I don't think isolationism is good. I think globalism, if globalism is meant to be free trade, then I'm for it. I think there should be more free trade, and I think we should get rid of dictatorships. I don't think isolationism in geopolitics or in trade is a good idea. Somebody says an argument can be made USA should get same as it dishes out. Okay, then I mean that's what they are doing. Like, we are talking about as if America goes around the world and destroys countries like out of its whim, and nothing happens to America back. Well, nothing happens because America is powerful. Like, do you think Iran doesn't want to destroy the US? You think Venezuela didn't want to destroy the US? You think Cuba wouldn't like to destroy the US? You think Russia wouldn't like to destroy the US? You think China wouldn't like to destroy the US? They would love to collapse the USA. They are trying to collapse the USA. But here's a little bit of flash news. Those countries and dictatorships are generally incapable of actually doing a lot of damage to free countries, just like America still, I believe, is. So yeah, they would want to do it. And again, this is not about even like morals. Like Iran is not attacking, or Iran is not like let's say sending ships to America because it has like high morals, and Iran wouldn't do what America is doing. No, it's because they suck and they cannot do it. Like, what are we talking about here? Channel says, but Daniel, they're powerful because they stole all the money from every other country. I mean, that is true. Sorry for that. All right, let's check back.
Hezbollah started, right?
I don't know exactly when
Yeah.
Hezbollah started, but the point is the country.
And again, here, like, what do you mean you don't know exactly when Hezbollah started? So, I need people to know that there are things that are trivia, and there are things that if you don't know them, you shouldn't talk about something. So, a specific, let's say, date and time of hour that Hezbollah started, yeah, that I think that's for the most part irrelevant, right? That doesn't really tell you much. But what you mean you don't know? Like, when Hezbollah has started, specifically during the Lebanon war, as the purpose of the existence of Hezbollah was to kick out Israel from the south of Lebanon, and Israel decided to pull out, unfortunately. Like, that was the reason for existence of Hezbollah. How do you not know that? It's a basic. Again, it's like not knowing. I don't know what I would even compare it to. I mean, again, it's so fundamental to like understanding of Middle East, or understanding specifically of Israel and Lebanon, and that conflict of like, and Iran, right? Of just the reasoning. Like, again, knowledge and understanding of history is not trivia. It's not just guessing this happened, randomly. This happened, and on other date this happened, and on other date this happened. No, it's like things are going through in some order. Things happen because other things influence them. You don't get to just suddenly Hezbollah sprung up. No, there is a history. There is the Lebanon war, there is the sort of other wars Israel had with Lebanon, there is the Iranian Revolution. Like, all of those things have to work together for something to happen. And then he says, I just, I don't really know when it started. It's not, I mean, to these people, maybe it is trivia. These people, I mean Joe Rogan. But anybody with any knowledge in like any discipline, when somebody is speaking BS. Like, I'm sure in the chat we probably have very many professionals, in different fields. And you probably have heard somebody talk about your subject of expertise, and when they're speaking BS. Like, when they're just like making stuff up and they do not understand anything. All right, let's listen a bit more.
Was doing fine before we monkeyed with it, and we monkeyed with it because they were not getting enough of the money from the oil. So it was the British Petroleum Company, I think, put it into perplexity, the story of Iran.
Yeah, again, what is this? Oh, so I wasn't even showing the screen, sorry. But like, I think you still heard it, right? It's like, put it in perplexity, the story of AI. Like, that's, by the way, this guy makes fun of like people who like read Wikipedia when they start their research about something. And now he is going to talk about Israel-Iran war, the current Israel-Iran war that America is involved in, and with the context of the Iranian Revolution and Hezbollah and Lebanon and Israel back then. And what is he going to do? Ask perplexity. Like, really? Is that how you get an understanding? Like, it's different. No, I cannot even give him any leeway. Because, I might look up things when I'm looking for something specific, but I look for something specific. When I'm looking for a year, or when I'm looking to find out something, it's usually, one, I know where to find it, right? I know the context of it, but he's asking for like the whole revolution. What are you looking for there? Are you looking for something specific? Or are you just now educating yourself while talking to what, million people that listen to this show, millions of people that listen to the show? Somebody says, I imagine this is what it's like listening to two drunk guys talking about Joe and Theo, but let's make it the most popular podcast. I mean, this is absolutely what it is. This is to get, like, I used to work in a store, like a convenience store, and of course a bunch of old people were like drinking beer by the side of the convenience store, and this is the type of stuff you would listen to them. And yeah, if only somebody told them they should make up a podcast about it. All right, let's take
their government being overthrown. I think it was in the 1950s. So when you see like how it all played out and why it is what it is today, Jesus Christ, you'd be mad too.
Yeah.
And when you're mad and you're surrounded by bigger enemies that all have nuclear.
So he's saying, if you look at the history, if you lived like the Iranians, you would be angry too. But Israelis wouldn't? Like, that's the thing, right? We can only understand the evil people. We can only explain what evil people do. Iran is fighting America and Israel and the Gulf states and the world and the European states and a bunch of random ones probably. Cyprus gets attacked for some reason. Azerbaijan gets dropped bombs on it for some reason. I think did something even fall on Jordan? I think I've seen something even on Jordan, right? That is not even directly involved here. Well, other Gulf states are not involved either. But we can find an explanation, an understanding of the poor dictatorship of Iran that just cannot do anything else. But Israel, yeah, genocidal Jews. No explanation for it. They just want to murder Palestinians for no reason. There's no explanation for it. That's just what they want to do. And I don't know why. I don't know why people call me anti-Semitic. I think genocidal Jews have no reason for being in Gaza, but I don't know why people call me anti-Semitic. This is like Joe Rogan and Theo in a nutshell. like endless explanations for why Iran has to murder Americans and Israelis. Endless explanations for, now I'm bringing separately, for what Russians need to murder Ukrainians. But the reason why Israel has to defend itself and go fight in Gaza? I have no idea. A genocide of Jews is the only way I can explain this. Moody says, so he's supporting the RGC that murdered the communists that helped them to power. I mean, again, imagine being a poor Islamist in Iran that just took power from Shah. What else are you supposed to do? Let's take a look more.
Nuclear weapons. You don't even have nuclear weapons. Wouldn't you be trying to make them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Iran should have nuclear weapons.
Well, I'm not saying Iran should have nuclear weapons, but here is a justification why it's okay for them to get nuclear weapons. Like, come on, give me a break. Now I can like do like the pragmatic explanation. Like I think, in a sense, it's logical. It makes sense for the Iranian regime to acquire nuclear weapons. Like I can have that self-contained, as in, yeah, they wanna wipe out the Western world. Yeah, they wanna get nuclear weapons, obviously. It's like a logical thing in that sense. Russia needs to take over Ukraine in its current system, in sort of Putin's regime. That's what it needs to be. Hitler needed to go to war with the world, for that system to make sense. Like, you can make this sort of like explanation, but trying to like justify it, it's disgusting. And that's what he's doing. He is justifying it.
I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. They
But
definitely
Israel
should.
gets
I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. Like, what are you, a child? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't. You know what? And also, people shouldn't kill each other. And you know what? People shouldn't steal from each other. Like, this is children's understanding of the world. This is like a child's. Like he's a beauty pageant. Like, this is what's happening. He's like a beauty queen who's like coming. I wish for the what is it? I wish for the peace in the world. Like, this is Joe Rogan. That's what he's saying. It has absolutely no. It means nothing. It's a blanket statement. It's like some kind of truism, or not even truism, but it's a blanket empty statement that doesn't mean anything. What do you mean the world shouldn't have nuclear weapons? And again, the people who say the world shouldn't have nuclear weapons, they mean the Western states shouldn't be able to defend themselves from dictatorships. That's all it is.
to have them.
Allegedly. Saying Iran should have nuclear weapons. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. They
But
definitely
Israel
should.
gets to have them.
Oh, yeah. Israel gets to have them. Yeah. So what? Yeah, Israel is a legitimate country. Technically, they might or might not have nuclear weapons. But again, so what? Yeah, Israel is a legitimate country. That, as far as I'm aware, every legitimate country should either should either have nuclear weapons or should be in an alliance with a state that has nuclear weapons. I think currently, right now, that I've seen, that I definitely support, apparently France is thinking about moving some of its nuclear arsenal into some of the Eastern European states. For example, Poland. I think Poland was one that was like, hell yeah, we gotta get some of that. And I think it absolutely should happen. I think the unique thing about nuclear weapons is a deterrence. Now, I don't think that the deterrence is fully working. Again, Israel is getting bombed because other states know we won't drop nuclear weapons. So at some point we might have to. And again, there's not necessarily a reason to drop nuclear weapons. There's nothing really that unique. Usually we can get our goals outside with conventional weapons. But I don't think we should step away from it. Somebody says, I do think there were wrongs towards the Arabs in the Palestine area, e.g. selling land by absent Palestine landlords to Jews. It's complicated, no slogans, please. I don't think so. Again, like, you have to go by the standards of the world. Like, like that's what and I don't think I would even disagree with it. Like, I buy land, it's my land. Who, like, why should I have some obligation to the people who are squatting on that land? Uh, Again, I owned it. Palestinians didn't stand up to the Ottoman authority ever. They could have, if they had a problem with this, they should have. I mean, they tried to, wipe out the Jews several times, and they lost. But I'm not gonna go. It's always like we have to be, Turkey can genocide Armenians, and China can genocide Uyghurs, and Russia can genocide the Circassians. But let's talk every single day about the bad things the Jews did at some point. Let's just focus on that. Like, I'm not gonna go here and like what's the like flail myself for
Allegedly.
living.
This is
I
the
just started playing it. I'm not gonna flail myself like every single day because maybe Jews did something that the moral standard of today is not up to date on that specific thing, and so also on top of that, that's why it's okay to kill Jews now, because Jews 100 years ago did something that maybe we don't fully agree with. It's not, no, I mean, again, I'm not talking to specifically Moody on that, but just general, like, no, I'm not gonna apologize for existing. Again, when the standard, like, they don't care. The standard of people, the standard of people who, let's say, talk about the Zionist colonial project or anything like that, their problem is not that the Jews came in and bought land and kick out some Palestinians. They just want to kill all the Jews. Like, that's what they want to do. They just want the Jews to die. They are sad that Jews have a place to actually exist and live peacefully. Modi says, no, I'm certainly not saying that. What I'm saying is there's no 100% right on one side. I'm certainly not on the side of IRGC or any other caliphate. There is 100% justification on one side. Because the only question you are even you're asking is, who is the moral one here? Who is the proper one here? And it's America, it's Israel, it's Western European states. Well, it's all some European states, it's Western civilization. That's who's in the right. Now, that doesn't mean that every single thing we did was always kosher. Doesn't mean that everything was that. But, like, yes, we are 100% in the right. And there is no... I'm not compromising on that. We are absolutely right. When it comes to Russian-Ukrainian conflict, Ukraine is 100% in the right. When it comes to Israeli-Iran war, Israel and America are 100% in the right. That doesn't mean every single thing is perfect, or not even perfect. That doesn't mean, because it is perfect, it doesn't mean that every single thing out of context has been done as it should have been done, or as it would be the most proper, but it means we are in the moral right. All right, let's take a look more.
problem. Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly with them.
But allegedly.
Except for the genocide.
They're not.
Oh, everything is allegedly with Israel, only genocide. What, so your problem is you cannot, what, Holocaust denial? That's your gotcha? Like, hey, these Jews, they talk secretly about, they have this clandestine nuclear program. But, they say that Holocaust definitely happened. Yeah, I have no idea why people call Theo one an anti-Semite. I just don't know. And even, what is this? You cannot deny Holocaust. Of course you can deny Holocaust. Like, this guy is doing it. Like, right now, he's like joking about it. Oh, did it happen? Or look, you cannot joke about it. You cannot be, whatever, you cannot be secret. You cannot question it. Like, there are people who question it. And for if it's like a genuine, you want to look into it, I mean, you should be free to do so. I don't think it's good that some European states have like laws against Holocaust denialism. Although, again, when we say like European states have Holocaust denialism, it's unless you're neo-Nazi, you won't actually get in trouble with law. Like, I looked at many cases where the laws against Holocaust denialism were actually applied, and the people who were like had like problem with that are like actual neo-Nazis. Like in Slovakia, we disbanded a party because of like how neo-Nazi it was and how much Holocaust denial they did. Now again, I think it's still part of free speech, but trying to say that you say he's saying that basically if you say 5 million Jews instead of 6 million, you will go to prison for the rest of your days, and your wife and children will be raped. Like that's the way they put it when it comes to like questioning the Holocaust. It's like you can do it, and you're in America. Like come on, there are no laws for Holocaust denialism. I think there should be moral laws against it because of how terrible sort of like denying that an idea of that is. Let's take a look more.
They don't officially have them.
Right.
I don't think they admit they officially have them. And you know who is a big opponent of Israel getting nuclear weapons?
JFK.
JFK.
Oh, JFK, and that's why they killed him. That's why the Jews killed JFK, because he didn't want to give them nuclear weapons. That I don't even. Does the timeline even fit? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not up to date. I don't like go every day and research like the Israeli nuclear program, but wasn't that developed in the 70s or like late 60s? And again, it was secret. How could he have been against? For this, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Because again, the nuclear program, my understanding is it was mainly developed with French. I think it was the late 60s. I think by the time of the Yom Kippur War they had it. I don't think they had it in 67 war. And again, why did he want to not have them then? Why is it wrong for Jews to have nuclear weapons? Like, we are talking about 60s and 70s, right? In 67, several countries will try to attack and wipe out Israel. In 73, those same nations will attack Israel again to try to wipe it out. And the using of nuclear weapons is even considered because of how scary of a situation Israel was put in. Let's say JFK managed to enforce no nuclear weapons on Israel, and the Arab states were a little bit stronger in the Yom Kippur War, and they managed to wipe out Israel. That's preferable situation, because at least we don't have nuclear Israel. Well, we don't have any Israel right now because of that. Okay, so there is official communication, very firm letters that okay, but again, like, because like so why is Bill Clinton alive? Why is Obama alive? Why is Biden alive? Like, if Israel has all this power to basically, by the way, Israel, like, we are talking about JFK assassinated in 63. Israeli state is 15 years young, and they can assassinate JFK because they didn't want to have, he didn't want to let them have, or he didn't want to give his approval. By the way, what is this approval? What for? Why didn't they kill Bill Clinton for the Oslo Accords? Why didn't they kill Obama for for the Iran deal, for all the pushback against Judea and Samaria? Why didn't they kill Biden over the stopping of the problems with he had limitations on the Gaza operation, on going into Rafah and all those things? Why didn't they get killed? Like, is there any answer to that? Or it's just, Jews are just behind every single conspiracy?
Yeah. That's what a lot of people think led back into the left.
Oh, yeah. Before they killed him, who? I don't know.
So
before they killed him, who? I don't know. Like, give me a break. What is it? Like, Just stand by it. Okay, you believe like that's what they're saying. Jews killed JFK. That's what they're saying. Okay, they might say Israelis. Israel killed JFK. Okay, we're just gonna go full conspiracism. By the way, no evidence towards that. No declassified evidence towards that. Not a single piece of evidence towards pointing that Israel had any hand in the killing of JFK. All of the evidence points towards the lone shooter. Most of pretty much all assassinations that have ever happened usually point to some lone shooter. But you know what? This one, it's the Jews. Of course, the Jews. I'll just read this one. Somebody says, funny how all these conspiracy theories are popping out to be true. There's not a single conspiracy that's ever been proven. Because, again, and usually it's in some like weird, completely like random, like one small part of it has been in some way maybe a little bit relates to something else. But no, when it comes to actual like big conspiracies, like Jews killed JFK, or the Jews were behind 9/11, or that what was that? The Jews converted the Earth to be flat, or that the Jews faked the moon landing. It's kind of a lot of Jews. But yeah. By the way, yeah, Joe Rogan also believes moon landing is fake. So, conspiracies usually go together. Oh, who would say my favorite troll, who I don't talk to, says that there are no conspiracy theories because everything has been confirmed. How unexpected. By the way, if you guys believe there's been a conspiracy that has been proven true, please say so, and I'll try to talk about it if I can. Let's take a look more.
Iranian Revolution, also called the Islamic Revolution, was a mass uprising in Iran, overthrew the Shah's monarchy in 1979, replaced it with an Islamic republic led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini.
Okay, this is the first time he reads about Ruhollah Khomeini. Like, he mispronounced Ruhollah. Like, is this a joke? Like, here he is talking about the state of Iran and the war with Iran, and he cannot. And again, this is not like a trivia that unless you can pronounce the name, I'm still not sure how you pronounce everything, but like at least pronounce every syllable is like the least thing, right? But it's like, again, it's not trivia that you cannot pronounce every single thing, but it's like if you don't know something like this, or if you mistake something like this, then what's going on? I'm still waiting for the conspiracy theory that has been proven true. Cannot wait for it. Or somebody says, no, I'm not on board with the flat earth one. That goes too far. Jews being behind killing of JFK, Jews being behind the 9/11, fake moon landing was fake. What other like big conspiracies are there? Jews are from Khazaria. What else? I don't know. Some COVID stuff. I'm sure there are some conspiracies there. All of that is true. But you know what? Flat Earth, it just doesn't work for me. I just cannot do that one. That's... Channel says the biggest conspiracy is that the world is moved by philosophy and no one knows it. That's an ironic, but it's true. Okay, somebody brings up Bill Gates now announced that he wants digital ID to finances. In 2007, I saw conspiracy theory. Now it's becoming true. What is? Like, this is not a conspiracy. I don't know what the fuck like digital ID means and big ID finances. But again, what is like the conspiracy there? Yeah, like generally there is a trend towards more openness, more things being tied to different things. How is that the conspiracy? Like, so what was the original conspiracy? I would assume that the original conspiracy was that the government will come in and they will chip everybody, and it will be 1984, and everybody will be basically forced to be targeted and to be watched, and there's no privacy. And what is the Bill Gates thing? He probably has some idea that people could voluntarily sign on. That's not the same thing. Like, give me a break. It's a joke. Well, somebody says, I'll send you a video to let me see if it exists. Or did they delete it? Yeah, somebody says, Romancing the Troll says, ideas exist, digital security exists. Like, yeah, it's like, come on. It's like the shallowest thing ever. Well, let's finish. Joe Rogan not totally reading Wikipedia.
Shout out Ruko.
I want you to go back to the national, ask it a question of what was the events that led to them trying to nationalize their oil. Here it is. Okay,
I think
no, that's not it.
Oh, we didn't find it. Okay, let me look up more clips from this, because I'm definitely, well, I don't know if enjoying is the right word, but going through this. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see this one. I'm not necessarily sure what they say here, but let's stay. Shadows, you can send it to us on contact form, but I'm most likely not going to watch it. Maybe I'll like skip a little bit. I might watch it on my own if I want to amuse myself. All right, let's take a look.
It's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, but it's all the same shit has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting fucking politicians slurp on kids. All of our fucking money goes to Israel, and they're using it to fucking genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us, and our religious leaders are fucking talking about bullshit at the poll. It's just like, what is going? I don't know, man.
We got to get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your fucking marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill out.
I'm here. It's all just.
Yeah, I mean, again, like nobody's help. Like this is. Like you could transport Theo 1 to like 30s Germany, or like, I don't know, 50s, and I mean like 1850s America. He would be saying the same. You could transfer Theo 1 to like the ancient Athens, and he's like, the politicians are not doing anything for us. We don't actually have any power. Like he would be saying the same shit. It has no substance. It's truism. It's like politicians don't care about what we say. It's a truism. You like, and again, I'm not gonna. So, like again, don't wanna like now defend like socialist policies. But what is like social security? Isn't that like benefit for the working class or whatever? I don't think it is fundamentally at the end of the day, but sort of that's what it's presented, right? What about Obamacare? That's not like an expansion for people. What about the stimulus checks? What about, like, you could list things up. So what, all of these are just like things to hide that America is just like Israeli puppet or something? It's a truism. It doesn't mean anything. Like these people are, like, you have to say, like these people are actually like Nazis when it comes to like being like Adolf Hitler. Like if you listen to like Adolf Hitler's speeches, there is no difference between that and that, between what Theo 1 just said and between what Hitler has said. He was all about like, oh, these Weimar politicians, these social democrats, they don't care about the German people. They don't care about the, I think I just saw that. They don't care about the million unemployed. They don't care about 2 million unemployed, 3 million unemployed, 4 million unemployed, 5 million unemployed. It's the same type of stuff. Like, we are in circles. History rhymes like way too much, and it's simple rhymes. It's not even like I don't know the names for like the how in English you say the rhymes, but it's not even like the A B rhyme, where it's like you know the rhymes are sort of like two sentences separated from each other, or two lines separated from each other. It's A rhymes. He's just rhyming the same word in the whole song over and over and over again. That's the type of rhetoric we are getting with like Theo on. Okay, people are talking about the digital IDs. All right, so we'll listen to this one. Let's see if there are any other.
I hope so.
Okay, maybe. Okay, looks like we got one more at least.
What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to be okay?
I hope so. Of course. I don't know.
Do you think about it?
I'm confused. I can't believe we went to this war. When we started bombing Iran, I was like, this can't be true.
And what about Lebanon now?
I know. Israel's invaded Lebanon. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, just fuck.
Dude, Israel invades Lebanon like every 10 years or so. It's what are you talking about? This is like, this is as Middle Eastern as hummus. And it's proper. Again, Israel should invade Lebanon. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization on its border, like bombing it. What should they do? Well, I know what they should do. They should just cover in their houses and die as good Jews and the nice Jews do. They simply let themselves get killed, and then we can be sad about them, right? You know, that's when we like Jews. It's when they get killed. We can like celebrate how much we don't like that happening, despite the fact that when the Jews start defending themselves against getting slaughtered, we'll start criticizing them. Do they know the history of Lebanon? I doubt it. They don't know where it's on the map. I mean, and again, technically, that's just well, it's not trivial. Like knowing where like Lebanon is, it's kind of important. Again, it's important if you actually want to have any sort of like decent opinion on anything going on in the Middle East, or specifically with Israel and Lebanon. Romancing the Trolls actually says a good thing. There wasn't a conspiracy to create the Steam engine. People played with Steam and it happened. Well, I wouldn't say it just happened, right? You know, people developed certain ideas, certain understanding, and then developed based on that. But yeah, what he's saying basically, you know, conspiracy is there's going to be a technology in the future, and then there is the technology in the future, and like all conspiracies are true now. Oh, I just remembered another conspiracy, chemtrails, right? That's another one. All right, let's take a look more.
Can stop it. What do you need?
Well, they're trying to supposedly they're trying to stop the terrorists.
Supposedly, and what the fuck you mean? Like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't swear this much, but like, what the hell you mean? So Iran is simply trying to, you know, preserve its existence, but Israel, the Jews are supposedly, yeah, like you don't even have to like. You guys know when it's during like detective movies when they have like the big board and like the things are connected, right? And it's like this is not even a crazy connection. It's there is a terrorist organization on the border with Israel. Israel goes to war with the in the country that the terrorist organization is, and this is the string that connects those things. Like you don't need a conspiracy. Like it's such a simple explanation of what's happening. Why are you saying supposedly? So what are they for? To kill Lebanese children because they are diabolical genocidal Jews. I forgot.
Yeah, that's crazy though. If you're the fucking terrorist.
Oh, Israel is the terrorist.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to stop them, fucking stand in front of the fucking mirror and start there. What do you think is going to happen?
God, I wanna call Theo on by his background, but and I think this clip is the same. Again, this guy is edgy. Like, again, I don't listen to his humor anymore, but this is like edgy. Like, you're a conventional guy. You're an anti-Semite. You think Israel is doing a genocide. You think Israel is a terrorist state. That's what everybody believes in. You wanna be unique. You wanna have you wanna be like a rebel. Believe that Jews should live. That's a rebel behavior. Believe in capitalism. That's a rebel behavior. Believe in individual rights. Believe in America. Believe that the founding fathers had a proper conception of, or at least decent understanding of individual rights and of the conception of a legitimate government. That's pretty based, at least in my book. But no, what's edgy right now is hating Jews. No, it's what everybody does, and you're no special for doing so. You're no unique. There's nothing unique about you that you hate Jews. You're just like every other guy. What was that? Oh, somebody said it's about the Greater Israel Project. Yeah, establish Greater Israel would probably benefit more Arabs than ever before. Like, the greatest improvement of the Arab lives was the establishment of the State of Israel. Straight up. Like, the greatest improvement of Palestinian lives was after 1967 when Israel took over completely. Like, yeah, I am for Greater Israel. Because Israel is the only country in the Middle East that actually has respect, at least some respect for individual rights. It's pretty clear. Like, ask yourself, do you want to live in Israel or would you rather live in Lebanon? And don't say, well, I wouldn't want to live in Lebanon because it's getting bombed. No, okay, Saudi Arabia or Jordan, whatever, something that isn't war with Iran or Israel. Would you rather live in Jordan or would you rather live in Israel? Would you rather live Jesus, for that matter, would you rather live in like Germany or would you rather live in Israel? Would you rather, like, in some instances, would you rather live in America than live in Israel? Like, come on, it's not only one of the best places to live in the Middle East, it's one of the best places to live in the world. And we are talking about the country that's being bombed. Or rocketed, rather. Somebody says, imagine how many Arabs and Palestinians would be alive without the creation of State of Israel. Palestinians wouldn't exist without the State of Israel. That has to be said. And also, don't worry about them. They are, just a reminder. Arabs are very capable of killing each other on their own. They don't need Israel as an excuse. They killed each other a long time before Israel ever came into existence. They continued killing each other after the state of Israel came into existence, and they are killing each other right now. Although technically Iranians are not Arabs. But let's say Saudi Arabia and Yemen, here you go. Arabs are killing each other. Alright, do we have anything more I can find from Theo on this podcast? It looks like there's just been a couple of clips that were that I at least see.
I don't know, man. Everybody just...
Okay, maybe I have one more. But I'm mainly just checking X to see what people have shared. I think I have one more and then we'll move on.
I guess, yeah, I don't know, man. Everybody just feels scared, and it makes things
Well,
scary.
they should, because a lot of things are getting exposed right now. There's a lot of fraud, and you're seeing it at the highest levels of government. And
You know what? Anybody? I shouldn't be edgy. So I'm not gonna say that. Like, because I actually stand by the things I say. But this type of stuff, when it comes to, you know, bad things are people, when people like Joe Rogan, or when Joe Rogan specifically, say things like bad things are happening, there's a lot of fraud. I think that is like so destructive to American democracy, so destructive to American constitutionalism that you cannot realize it. Because what it is saying you basically cannot do anything about it, right? Like, if somebody says there's a lot of fraud, what are you supposed to do about it? What do you mean? Fraud where? In Social Security? In Medicare? In maybe there's some corruption with specific politicians? Maybe Supreme Court corruption? Like, what are we talking about? Because if he says something specific, one, he can challenge me on it, which he wouldn't want to do. And two, we could actually fix it. And this is a terrible thing. Like, remember this for any demagogue. If he says something specific that is wrong, we can then fix that thing. And he would lose something that he can campaign on, which he can never do. So when it comes to any populists, when it comes to any demagogues, they either have to pick things that are not really a problem, or they have to pick things that are sort of like impossible to fix, or they have to think very broad and vague things that, like, by its nature cannot be fixed because they are not defined. So they can forever say. But you know, maybe I jumped in ahead. Maybe Joe Rogan will say specifically something.
People are also scared because no one's getting in trouble for things.
Oh shit, I didn't think of that. People are scared because people don't get in trouble for doing things. I didn't think of that. Oh my god. Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh. People are scared because people don't get punished when they get in trouble, or don't get in trouble for things. What a statement.
Like, no one's getting in trouble for the Epstein files. No one's getting...
By the way, Epstein is dead. Like, no one is getting in trouble for Epstein files. Well, what about Epstein? Hello? And Ghislaine Maxwell, another person, they got in trouble for it. They didn't get in trouble for it. One freaking killed himself in prison because he didn't want to deal with the consequences. And the second one is in prison. Was she convicted? I think she was convicted already. And the other people, I mean, again, my understanding of why we are not seeing, again, I talked a little bit about this to James, and, you know, I've seen some of the Epstein files, and the big problem is just when it comes to something like sexual, like, because again, just a reminder, even when we talk about the Epstein stuff, we are rarely even talking about rape. We are usually talking about what is it called, like underage sex. There's it's some different kind of thing. Maybe somebody, there is a word for it when it's like you have a sex with underage person. Maybe somebody will remind me in the chat. But and that's so we are talking about, let's say, something that happened 20 years ago, and now you have to bring those people in. They have to know exactly what happened. You need more evidence. Like, proving that is exceptionally hard. The fact that we were able to get Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, I think, is incredible. It's good. It should have happened. I think it gives some peace to the victims. If more people, well, more people were involved, but if we are able to get more people on it, and by the way, like, these guys supported Trump. Trump is in the Epstein files. Trump is a big part of the Epstein files. Now, I don't necessarily know if he did something illegal, if he did something wrong. Some of the Epstein files alleged it, but again, a lot of the Epstein files are simply, this person said something about them. It's not enough to convict someone. That's probably not even to, like, even charge somebody with something. It's like hard to prove. But what are they saying? No, it's all a conspiracy. It's all cover up. And again, when it comes to not all Epstein files being released, again, what has to be remembered, like as far as, and again, this, I think this specifically, I think I talked to James, like he doesn't think so far from what was released there's anything to actually to convict pretty much anybody else. That's just not enough, because a lot of it is just somebody says something, but it still looks bad. I mean, if somebody says that, I mean, I've read some of the stuff that they allege about Trump is, or they say that Trump has said is like terrible stuff. But we are going by what somebody said. Oh my god, we are not even halfway through this clip, and it's pretty short.
In trouble for
Yeah, that's almost,
no one's getting in trouble for things. Like no one's getting in trouble for the Epstein files. No one's getting in trouble for
yeah, that's almost disappeared, kind of.
well, that's part of what happens when there's some sort of a big social thing. One thing that's in the past that leaders have used to cover up problems at home is a fucking war. I'm not saying that that's why they.
I mean, maybe. Again, it's a I would say like pointless statement saying that this war is a cover up, especially since I think like this war out of all is the most proper one, the one that actually makes sense. And again, I don't know to what extent, like I don't think people care about Epstein files. It's just these conspiracies. But like generally the people who are obsessed with Epstein files were people on the right. They all voted for Trump. So what are we talking about here? They don't care. They don't care really. And again, this is not me saying that Trump did something. There are some things that are alleged in the Epstein files. You can go read them. Like there is one website where it's basically, I think it's called the Gmail, if I'm not wrong. I can, you know what? I'm gonna put it in chat just so people can. By the way, Gmail with a J. Yeah. Like if people wanna go through some of the Epstein files, which again I don't think it's a good way to spend your time. But again, you can check it out. It's basically it's a website that is set up like a Gmail. It's spelled with a J. And you can basically read through all the emails. That you can find. You can find Norman Finkelstein, by the way, there. You can find Elon Musk. You can find, of course, Jeffrey Epstein. So I think somebody mentioned Ehud Barak. You can find that. I mean, I'm just Prince Andrew, of course, Steve Bannon. It's a bunch of people. Which again, just because you're there doesn't necessarily mean you're involved in something. But again, well, let's listen to the rest of it.
Bombed Iran, but that would be a way to do it if you're that psychotic, and if you were thinking about doing it anyway, you might be able to justify it. People have always done that also to stay in power.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah, like.
What do you mean stay in power? What's happening to Trump? I don't get it. What, is he gonna get impeached by Republicans? Fat chance. He might lose election. But again, these guys carried water for Trump through his election. I guess I'm gonna appease a little bit of trolling. Somebody says, I heard rumors that Israel is getting hit real hard. A lot of people are in the streets. They're mad. Is that true? Nope. Pretty simple. I know Israelis. I know people from Tel Aviv, people from Jerusalem, people from different places. Nope. Now Israel is getting hit, and people are, unfortunately, some people are dying, some people are getting injured. It's very unfortunate. It is war, but it's nothing close to like a total collapse of Israel or anything in that regard. Iran is getting hit. I wish it was getting hit harder, but unfortunately it looks like we are mainly targeting the military sites. while Iran is targeting all of Israel, including the civilian. But I would absolutely support sort of like a full-out war. Okay, let me remind people again that we do have a super chat call, which if you are enjoying today's episode, if you are enjoying today's broadcast, you can support us. You can make sure we do bring this to you every day, and you can also you can also you can support us so we can keep this going on. And of course we will have the last segment today will be members only. So we're going to talk about Candles Omens with Bassem Youssef. This was a bit of an older video from 2 months ago, but should still be good. And let me also remind people, since I'm gonna mention it a couple times, but tomorrow we are taking a break. So for probably for the next few weeks, once a week, most likely on Saturday, we will be off live stream. So normally we bring you live stream every single day. We try to do at least 2-3 hours. You know, we used to go for like 6-7. The original live stream went for 14, but tomorrow we will be taking a break. Somebody says, would you go fight if you support it? It would depend specifically. I mean, if there was no option, I would definitely. But generally, I'm probably not somebody who is like fully in for war. We do have a voluntary army. I think people who do sign up for the army are definitely heroes. But again, every job, everything you do, you should do the best that makes sense in terms of your values. Let's say, you know, Russia invades Slovakia or something. Well, I would have a choice to either get out or you know, fight. Let's say you know, when Ukraine shouldn't say you, when Ukraine was attacked by Russia, we of course seen a lot of Ukrainians going to the army, signing up for the army, and we've seen a lot of Ukrainians sort of fleeing to West. I've seen a lot of Ukrainians. I live relatively close to the Ukrainian border. I've seen a lot of Ukrainians sort of on bus stations, you know, just trying to move something further. I don't think those people are any less, you know, heroic necessarily than the people who actually fight it. I think taking care of your values and taking care of your life is important. I wouldn't say that somebody who decides that their values are so important that they decide to fight for the country or that they decide to, you know, flee the country. I don't think either of those are, you know, that only if you fight for the country, that's the only way to be moral. So in that way, you know, it would really depend on my values. I would have to see specific circumstance. I can imagine myself being in a war, but it would definitely be a last resort. And somebody says, then don't support war. It's terrible for everyone involved. No, like, I don't accept that. So we should never fight a war ever? Because somebody, like, again, Trump dodged his dodge service in Vietnam. For all the criticism of Trump, I'd say that was probably the moral thing to do. I don't think anybody should have been drafted, and I think if you had a way to draft or to dodge the draft, I think you should have done that. Trump did that with Vietnam. I'm not gonna criticize him for it. Okay, I'm just gonna do one more thing on this. Somebody says, if you wanna fight war, feel free to do it, but you can support the war and say, yeah, I would avoid it. Like, again, I don't know what to say to you. So like try to apply that anywhere else. You cannot support, like, I support free market, right? I cannot do it or I support open trade. I cannot do it unless I myself like go and like trade, bring stuff bring stuff from America to Slovakia or something. Like, it's ridiculous. There are certain things I support. There are certain values I have. I support the war in Iran because it's a threat to the Western world. Thankfully, Israel and America are the ones taking care of it. Thankfully, that is happening. And again, every soldier that is fighting in Iran, be it Israeli, American, or any other, are great. And I think they deserve all the. I hope there's gonna be a special medal if this truly is a very important operation, or whatever. Like, take care of them for the rest of their lives. I would support this in any way I could. But again, I don't think my own values necessarily lie with. Again, there's many ways to fight the war. One is, of course, advocacy, which we lack crazy amount. That's something we definitely lack. There are different things again. And even in the war itself, right? It's not only that unless you're the soldier with the boots on the ground. There's many ways to, even support the war effort. During World War II, were the only people fighting in the war the ones who went to Normandy? No, it was the people in America involved in the war were also the women working in the factories, while the husbands, well, I shouldn't say husbands, while a lot of men are away. It was the children that even helped. It was the old people that decided to help. It was, and of course, many young men who decided to maybe re-enlist to go fight in Normandy or against Japan. It was intelligence figures. It was people who are not involved. It was people in the medical staff. It's the people in the whole society that are involved in this. You're not the only way to contribute to the war effort is not necessarily just like somebody still has to feed these men that go fight in Iran. Somebody still has to work. Somebody still has to grow food. Somebody still has to produce the bullets. Somebody still has to, protect the state, do the other things that makes the country worth fighting for. Now, for some people, their closest value might be, to actually go and fight, to go in the military, to sign up. Okay, just one thing, and I'm seriously just stopping engaging with you. He says they have to feed them even without the war. It makes no sense. Again, you're just disingenuous. You don't care about anything I say. Oh yeah, it's old people saying young people to die. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're just like fucking Joe Rogan and like, and what's this guy, Theo. Like, it's the same kind of thing. It's it's such a disgusting nihilism. It's such a disgusting skepticism and cynicism. Iran is trying to kill you. I don't know where you are from, but Iran is trying to kill all Israelis. Iran is trying to kill all Americans. And you act as if us defending ourselves, as if Americans defending ourselves, as if Israelis defending ourselves is some like terrible, immoral thing on our part. Get the hell out. Yeah, Romancing the Stroll says, can send the old people. I'm sure many would love to go, but it would be a mess. I'm sure many try to. I know this happened in Ukraine, that many very old people re-enlisted. I think, yeah, like people in their 40s, 50s. I don't know if I've seen 50s, 60s, but yeah, many old people re-enlisted because they wanted to fight. And again, go like ask those specific soldiers. Go ask a young soldier and if he wants the old people that he's protecting. Like, again, you're taking agency from those soldiers. There are soldiers who are definitely for this war, who do support. I'm wondering if we can pull out the poll. But there are soldiers that absolutely do support this. you're taking agency from them. They are doing it for their values. Oh, Linda says pilots, not soldiers. That's fair to say. There has been let's bring a little bit of positivity. There's been this recording that I've heard like a week ago, and I found it, I would say, very cute. I'm wondering if I can find it. Oh. Nope. Oh yeah, it is this one. Okay. This was a radio conversation between an Israeli and American pilot.
Mobile 97. Go for 97. It is a great honor for us to fight with you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Likewise, gentlemen. Please be safe out there. Strike hard. See ya.
Fuck, I love Cobra Maneuvers. That's so cool. I believe that's a Cobra maneuver. It's basically when you like fly with the plane and then you do this, so you like go from the back and you can get like behind all the planes. It's so cool. Let's see it again. And let's hit it again. Actually, let's stay a bit more positive.
Mobile 97.
Go for 97.
It is a great honor for us to fight with you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. Likewise, gentlemen. Please be safe out there. Strike hard. See ya.
It's pretty cool. They definitely don't seem to, be scared of fighting in this war. And okay, let's watch more footage. What is this? Cockpit of an Israeli Air Force aircraft during an aerial refueling with the US. Oh, that might be similar clip. Motorcycle. Okay, that's we cannot play Freebird. So this is aerial refueling. I don't know how many people seen that. It's so cool. But it looks like an American refuel plane and an Israeli. I mean, imagine that. You don't even have to go home. You simply like refuel in the air and go and keep bombing your enemies. Incredible. All right, with that, I think we've listened to enough of Joe Rogan. And again, I guess going to the war, nobody is pushing anybody into it. This is the leadership we have. Trump made a decision. Congress could have pulled out the army at any moment. They could have stopped the funding of the army at any moment. Trump will go to Congress again, where, maybe this war will end before then, but Trump will have to go to Congress within 30 days, or less than 30 days, 28, 27? Although no, February, okay, more like, let's say 4 weeks. How about that? Around 4 weeks, he will have to go to Congress. Then there might be even approval from Congress to continue this operation. And again, if you are a soldier, if you sign up for an army, you know what that means. If you do not want to go to fight in a war, but you do want to still commit to some defense of the land, you can sign up for the Coastal Guard or the National Guard or the I'm sure there are many others. And even if you are sign up for the army, right? Army is not involved. It's actually mainly pilots right now. All right, with that, let's we have a few more other things that I wanted to go through. I'm wondering what we should start with. Okay, let's do this one. We haven't talked about this guy in a while.
The day you say, I don't like your regime, I don't like your organization, I consider you are threatening your neighbor, so I will intervene and bomb you, you open a Pandora box.
By the way, Emmanuel Macron, French president, for those who don't know. Yeah, Pandora box, like, enforcing national security issues, actually caring about what's happening on the outside of, like, stern letters, like, hey, Iran really shouldn't try to kill all people in the Middle East, or some people in the Middle East, or most people in the Middle East, whatever. We should be stern about that. What Pandora box? That what we will, like, what Pandora box? What are we afraid that if we now attack Iran, then Russia might invade Ukraine? Oh, sorry, right? Or that maybe. What else? Hamas would invade Israel if we attack Iran. Oh wait, no. Hezbollah will. China will invade Taiwan. That's the thing. China will invade Taiwan. If give me a break. What Pandora's box? What there was, by the way, for people who didn't know, there was no war until we started the war with Iran. Nothing happened before that. We opened a Pandora's box. Give me a break. Like, dictatorships don't deal by any sort of standards that this guy might have, which I don't know if I even want to call it standard.
Because nobody, why shouldn't the other do the same? Iran is a very bad regime. No discussion about that. I disagree with them on a lot of topics.
What the fuck you mean you disagree with them? Like, that you should live? That women shouldn't be beaten to death? Shouldn't be raped in prison? I just have a disagreement. What the hell are you talking about?
But I don't believe that we will fix the situation just by bombings or by military operations.
Well, it depends what the situation is. The situation is they're a threat to us. That's what we're fixing. I don't care. Well, to some extent, I don't really care that they violate the rights of their own people, right? It's not my country. It's not my rights that are being violated. My rights are being violated when Iran attacks other nations. And that's the thing I want to deal with. That's the thing that should be dealt with. This idea that the only way to fix the situation in Iran is to recreate it into the best country there is. It's a joke. We can just destroy them.
Look at what happened with this type of operation in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Libya. We never delivered.
What do you mean we never delivered? Libya is not a threat to us anymore. Syria is not a threat to us anymore. Iraq is not a threat to us anymore. Afghanistan is not a threat to us anymore. Well, the Taliban is still in power. But at least they are not a threat to us right now. They might be in the future. And then we'll deal with it. But yeah, we fixed those things to some extent, for the most part. Not ideally, because we had wrong goals in some instances. Because again, the goal was to fix them instead of actually just eliminating the threat. If the goal was only to eliminate the threat, we would have done much better. But it's because of him, because he wants to fix things with these things. He wants to go and fix them. Like this guy, a big supporter of Lebanon. He's calling for a ceasefire to happen in Lebanon to preserve Hezbollah.
Never, even after 20 years. So you have to respect the sovereignty of people. If people want to change a regime, they want to react, step up, they can do so. Having such an agenda shared by Korea, France, and bringing with us the other Europeans, Canada, Japan, India, Brazil, Australia, you start having a sort of third way. Those who don't want to be dependent on China or aligned by definition with the US.
Wait, what did he say in the last?
Way. Those who don't want to be dependent on China or aligned by definition with the US.
Oh, so he's talking about like third way, of basically powers uniting outside of, not aligned with America or China. I mean, for what? To do nothing again? Like, come on. I mean, if European states create something where they still separate themselves from China, but also from America, I'll take it. If that's all I can get from these guys, I'll take it. As long as they don't align themselves with China, maybe. And there is a value collision happening between America and European states. I think it's unfortunate, and I think it is the fault of European states primarily rather than America. Because again, America cannot give in more to concessions to Iran, to concessions to China, or rather Russia. So yeah, this was Emmanuel Macron. What else do we have? So we have one longer one, but not gonna do that. But we do have this. So, well, okay, let's take a look at Hassan Piker. Oh my, look at this. He's doing heavy research today. Look at all those X tabs he has open. It's a heavy research day today for Hassan.
Look, at the end of the day, I agree with you. Radicalism of any sort is bad, which is why this
they killed 40,000 people, man. No, they didn't.
War
no, they fucking didn't. You're a goddamn idiot if you think that, okay? You're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. They did not kill 40,000 people, dumbass. They did kill a shit ton of people in the process of suppressing the protests that took place, which, by the way, America and Israel openly admit that they played a role in, okay? But they did not kill 40,000 people in 2 days.
Oh, so it was okay because America and Israel were involved. It was okay to kill those people? Or, like, what does it say?
Like, you're unbelievably dense. You have convinced yourself. It doesn't even matter. Like, them kill.
Oh, it doesn't even matter. 6,600,000. Still bad.
Killing 10 people is still fucked up. Okay? I've never heard a consistent number on this from people that just turn around and say, oh, they killed, 80,000 people. I've heard 80,000, 50,000, 40,000. It's fucking ridiculous. Shut up. Jesus Christ. How do you not recognize that it's like this is propaganda to actually justify American and Israeli intervention? That's what you're leaning into.
So suddenly numbers, even if it was 10, it would be still bad, right? 6,600,000, it's still bad. We should condemn it. What was Hassan Piker? I don't think. I don't think. Somebody in his chat said, "Oh, they killed 40,000 people. Are American bombs somehow helping them?" Question mark. That's pretty funny. All right, and do I want to do this one? What's the time? Okay, let's do this one. I don't know if I even want to do the full one, but this one is 2 minutes. Let's take a look at Antisemitism.
I've been at TYT for almost 20 years, okay? The claims of me being a grifter are so bad. I drive a 2017 Honda Civic that on some days doesn't even start. And I have to call in and say I gotta work from home. We lost a huge portion of our audience when I was willing to deviate a little tiny bit from the far left on a few issues. But I did it anyway because I want to be honest with my audience. I did it at a tremendous cost to me, a tremendous cost to Cenk, and I value him so much for sticking by me and letting me just be me.
Okay, I think Anna is dishonest, so I'm not giving her any sort of respect. But look how she said, look how moral I am because I'm poor. Like, what is she saying? She's saying, like, normally people would just make money and, you know, compromise their principles or something, but I'm principled. Look, and I'm paying for it. Like, she's trying to, like, make a martyr of herself. I don't like this kind of culture. I don't like this kind of you know, I don't, maybe we have sometimes mentioned it. I think Raz has sometimes mentioned it, that, you know, sometimes we say something that, like, lose our members. But I'm not gonna go on this, like, a rant, and it's like, look how great we are because we what? You have values, you have integrity. That's like, praise me, I have integrity, praise me how good I am. It should be expected. It should be the basic human value, a basic rational value, fundamental value, integrity, that you actually mean the things you say, that you, like, don't sell out. And now she goes like, people call her a grifter. Yeah, people call me stuff. You have to, although I'm not on the stage where I just have random people on X calling me stuff, but you have to, you know, that's when independence comes into mind. Another very important rational value. That's how I can ignore some trolls in the chat and them saying like, oh, you're whatever. Wait, what was it? What did somebody say? I'm discrediting myself or something like that. It's like, well, I'm independent and I can actually think for myself. And I can actually evaluate. I can introspect and go look at my own beliefs and me, myself, understand what I'm actually saying. What I actually believe in. Yeah, and she is here like, it's like a new invention, integrity, imagine that.
If I wanted to be a grifter, guys, you have no idea. My commentary on Israel.
What, if you wanted to be a grifter, what, you would go on Tucker Carlson? Oh, wait, I don't actually think Anna Kasparin went on Tucker Carlson. I think only Cheng Yuger. But it's like, come on, what do you mean? And everybody says that, like, it would be so easy to like become a grifter or to do something like that. Well, do it. Like, why are you talking about it? I don't think it is easy. I think it's pretty hard to be a grifter. I think it takes a lot of, I don't know what. I think it takes a lot from, like, just a reminder, when you are a grifter, if you, like, compromise your values for money or for whatever, like, that's destroying your life. That's not easy. It's a very hard thing to do. I don't know why people say that it's, like, easy. It's like saying, you know, it'll be very easy to, you know, go and take heroin and then not do anything all day. I mean, yeah, technically, I don't know why you would do that. You're destroying your life for virtually no value. And the same is with, like, grifting. Like, yeah, you could say technically maybe it is easy, but, like, what do you mean? You're, like, destroying your whole life for nothing.
Has gotten me fired from one of my side jobs that I loved, but I tell the truth anyway. I risked losing that job because I want to tell you what I actually think. I promise you, I will always tell you what I think and I'll always explain to you why I think it. But for the love of God, please deal with the substance of what I'm saying instead of allowing your brain to atrophy by just going to the, you're just a grifter argument. It's so stupid, it's so weak, and it makes you look pathetic.
I would be surprised if well, she's not responding to me, obviously, but I would be surprised if I ever call, and then whenever somebody talks about grifting, even when, like, Qatar Carlson, I always say, it's sort of like a pointless argument. And even with Anna, I think she is disgusting and unbelievable because of her ideas, because of her stances, because of her anti-Americanism, because of her anti-Israel sentiments, because of her anti-Semitism.
Yes, we're gonna surveil everybody. Everyone will be on their best behavior. Yes.
like that. Not because she's a grifter. And again, but by the way, like, she makes money because of her beliefs as well. Like, I don't know why she's saying, yeah, like she is getting money because of her, well, I wouldn't say because of her integrity, but she's making money because, or I don't know what's the TIT structure. I don't know if she's just an employee of TIT or if she has like ownership of it. She gets cuts of the profits or whatever. But she's working for TYT, right? So she gets some support from that because of what she believes in, right? Like, that's why she is. If she was like a super conservative, she wouldn't be on TYT. So I don't think there's anything wrong with like being paid for what you believe in. I mean, that's what we are here, right? People who are in the chat, people who super chat us, which we unfortunately haven't seen today. But if you do want to support our channel and continue making sure that we can keep this on, make sure to super chat us or become a member, since especially in a bit we will be going to the members only portion of the live stream. Roman Viking says she's the executive producer. Sure, although that doesn't answer my question. I don't know what is her like compensation mechanism. Like, I don't know how she gets paid. Like, if it is like a salary or like profit or dividends from the corporation of TYT or something like that. That's what I was wondering about. But no matter what, she's being paid because of her ideas, which again isn't bad.
Anyway, wow, that's been bubbling up inside me for a long time, huh? And if you want to call me a grifter and say like, oh, you're cashing check, okay, then show me the evidence. What checks am I cashing here at TYT, where I've been working for 20 years? You know, the place that got you elected.
Well, TYT checks.
You know? The place that did dozens of interviews with you in the lead up to that election.
Wait, who is she talking about? Oh, okay. She's talking about AOC, actually. But I think there was right. I think there was like a little bit of a spat between AOC and Anna Kasparian. I think this was specifically because I think Anna said AOC is like a supporter of Israel, that maybe supported the Israel genocide or something like that, supported weapons. AOC said she never voted for sending weapons to Israel. And I think then either Chang or Anna responded again with something, so that's why it happened. Somebody says anti-Semitic views are common among Armenians. Don't take away free will from her. She chose to believe in these ideas. This is not because of this is not because of some sympathies or because of her background. That might have played a role, but she is a fully volitional being that is choosing to be anti-Semitic. This is not some kind of, this is not just some kind of background that she is. All right, with this, let's take a look at somebody says, I don't think Anna is anti-Semitic. Well, I don't think you believe anti-Semitism is real, so what do you know? Okay, I don't really see any like big news. Oh, interesting. Qatar is refusing to serve as a central mediator between the US and Iran in contacts for a ceasefire in a war. Reported by Wall Street Journal. Okay. Well, with this, we will be in a little bit switching to the members only portion of the live stream. So you now have a chance to become a YouTube member. There is a join button. It's just €5 a month, or $5 a month, or £5 a month, depending on what countries you're from. I think if you are an Israeli, might be like like 10 shekels, maybe 9 shekels. Wait, no, sorry, like 15 shekels, maybe 20 shekels. I don't know how they adjust it. If you are in Iran, of course, that will be about like 20 million Iranian rials. So whatever it is in your local currency. We have a super chat from Romancing the Trolls. Thank you so much. He says he sends dinner fund. $7. Thank you so much. I'll have to think about what I don't know yet what I'm gonna get for dinner. But as I've said, we will be switching to the members only portion of the live stream, where we will discuss Candace Owens and Bassem Youssef. So with that, thank you everybody who joined us today, and the members are still going to be able to watch us further. But for the people who are not members, either become one so we can continue watching us, or we'll see you not tomorrow, since we are taking tomorrow off, but on Sunday. Until then, thank you. And with this, we should be now in the members only portion of the live stream. So it's much more intimate now. It's much more, open now. Probably no trolls in the chat anymore. Probably only the people who really want to be here and who really want to support us are here. And we will take a look at Candace Owens and Bassem Youssef. So we have this up. So as I've said, this happened 2 weeks ago. This happened about 2 months ago, specifically on January 29th. And I've seen some of it. And the reason why I want to bring it up, one, I wanted to bring something unique to the members only portion of the live stream. And I remember some things from it that were truly terrific. So again, sort of see this as a unity between the left and the right? Candace Owens is somebody definitely on the right, Bassem Youssef is somebody definitely on the left. And somehow, when it comes to Israel, they are able to come on the same page. Let's check it out.
All right, you guys, I'm so excited about this episode. I am sitting across from somebody who I should mention is extremely jealous of me. And I'll let you listen to what he had to say to me in his own words at his recent show.
And I was even nominated to be Anti-Semite of the Year 2024. But I didn't get it. I didn't win. You know who won last year Anti-Semite of the Year? Candace Owens. Yes, Candace Owens. Yeah. Fucking DI. Some liberal woke shit. You had to give it to a black woman. Yeah, but this year, who got the Anti-Semite of the Year this year? Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, white power, Josh. Yeah, baby. Yes, yeah, baby. Yeah, yes. Yeah, the planet is healing. And actually, one of the nominees for the Anti-Semite of the Year this year was Miss Rachel. Imagine you and Miss Rachel having one thing in common, and that thing is anti-Semitism.
The world has gone a little bit ridiculous. I do have to say that's one of my favorite accounts.
I don't know if I even want to comment on this first part. By the way, the first line he said about like Candace Owens winning because of DEI, when I saw this originally, I did laugh, just for full transparency. I think it was definitely a good joke. But overall, I'm not watching this guy's comedy because again, I'm not gonna support the kind of stuff he supports, he stands for. But let's take a look. Well, we talked about Miss Rachel. I don't have to bring it up again. We did the whole episode on the Anti-Semite of the Year. Let's go look more.
Because I feel like it's Forbes 30 under 30. Like every time they mention anybody there, I'm like, oh, I should be following this person.
Yeah.
What is it? Stop anti-Semitism. And
Yes.
it's never anti-Semitism. The count is a parody of itself.
Yeah.
But I do want to say it wasn't DEI. I think I just performed better in 2024 than you did.
I'm just jealous.
Yeah, you're jealous.
I'm bringing my jealousy to the show. I'm bringing my jealousy to Nashville, and I'm just very upset that I didn't win. That would be like the award that I would have really deserved.
I know, and you tried to get all of your people to vote for her, and like you
Yes.
tried to skip the system. I didn't even ask people to vote for me. I won it fair and square, in large part thanks to the fact that I was fired from Daily Wire that year.
Yeah.
And you had a little something to do with it.
Did I?
You did,
How come?
actually. This
How
is a
come?
story that I've never told.
Okay.
But or I think you had something to do with it, but I was not allowed after I had watched you, and we should show that clip in a little bit, but you were my wake-up call to what was happening in Gaza. So I watched you.
Oh, that should tell you something. What wake up call? Wait, what do you? Oh, maybe Oh yeah, I guess the Daily Wire, Candace Owens leaving Daily Wire happened after October 7th, right? I guess. I kind of never thought about it. Well, I thought about it. I obviously realized it before, but yeah, Jesus, has been some time.
The clip went crazy viral. You were with Piers Morgan, and this is why comedians are the best, because you were not fighting, you were agreeing with him. It was like dark humor, and you held up a chart.
It wasn't agreeing with him. It was being super disingenuous and not engaging with the topic. But let's take a look what she thinks.
And asked what the going exchange rate was for Palestinians. You were like, I agree with Ben Shapiro. No, I agree. No, obviously we gotta kill these sons of BITCHs. And here's what we did this year, and this is how many of them had to die. And seeing that chart and going, wait a second, what is going on? Why are this many Palestinians dying? Woke me up to the fact that there was a huge part of the conversation I wasn't aware of. And so I went to my producer at the time and I said, we should get this guy on. He's going viral. I don't know who he is, but like I really would like to like just hear the other side. And my producer ran it up the chain and came back to me and said, we are not allowed to have Bassem Youssef on. And I said, that's weird. Why? And the answer I got was because you hurt Ben's feelings. I'm not kidding. She got it in writing.
I heard Ben's. Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ben. I hurt your. Did you hurt your feeling? I'm so sorry. I've hurt your feeling. Here's the thing about Ben. I'm gonna say this in all.
Are we just gonna take that? Really? That's what it said in the official correspondence. Bassem Youssef hurt feelings of Ben Shapiro, or the fact that he's a complete anti-Semite. I guess we'll just have to take that.
Honestly, I think Ben Shapiro is a very, very, very talented individual because he's a very confident liar. He just lies very.
I hate this like backhanded compliments. It's like he's so good because he lies. Like, this is what I hate about Bassem Youssef outside of the anti-Semitism, outside of the pro-Hamas stuff, outside of the pro-terrorist stuff. He's always always like this weird, like sarcastic, never serious. Maybe this is like I mean, I'm sure I like sarcasm, right? I'm a big on sarcasm in comedy, but like he does that when it comes to serious things, or when it comes to like actual discussions. Like even here, like Candace Owens is on his side and he's still being this like sarcastic.
Easily, and he lies so good that I feel ashamed that I can't believe him. You know, and the thing is, he's a fast talker, right? You know why he's a fast talker? Because facts cannot catch up. He just like
they never catch up.
He just like he talks.
Oh, I just had to laugh at that. Okay, people who say that somebody talks fast, maybe just your mind is slow. I've never found myself listening to somebody who talks fast, be it Ben Shapiro, be it somebody like Destiny or whoever, and that I cannot keep up with what they say. If somebody is talking fast to you and you cannot say, just tell them, hey, can you wait a sec? I'm not truly full. You can ask them clarifying questions. Like, I can talk super fast and you can still follow what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't have to... I mean, the hard thing with talking fast is you have to really think through. You can read text fast, but there is no problem in talking fast. You can generally follow things along and you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like listening to Bassem Youssef, you know what he's trying to say. Like he's trying to imply that because you're talking fast, you know, you cannot, you know, the facts do not really catch up, and then you can like get away with things without actually saying them. I try to talk fast. You were probably able to follow exactly what I've said, and a lot of it was filler because it's hard to talk fast. And you know, still keep up with most things. I think with some people it's usually it's probably just, you know, They just managed to do it. They're smart. Like again, try talking fast and like actually being coherent or not putting in filler words. I like talking slower because I use a lot of like and am and qualifiers that are not really necessary when I try to talk fast or when I try to speak fast or engage fast. So that's why I generally don't like it. Deborah says pure deflection, but Sam Yusuf is a confident liar, so he falsely accuses those he hates. Yeah, absolutely.
You know how fast he talks? He's like a robotic frog. And actually, if you hear like Ben Shapiro, it's like someone actually sped up the voice. Actually, if you slow him down, you'll get a normal voice. Because as he speaks very quickly, the truth is still buffering.
The truth is just still buffering.
Yeah, and I'm actually.
I don't get it. So if Ben Shapiro talks slower, he suddenly speaks truth. Like, what are we even talking about here? I mean, again, maybe he's just making jokes, but I like, did she bring him to do stand up here?
Like, I'm very surprised that I heard.
Oh, somebody says Deborah's comments are not coming for them. Maybe switch to live chat, because normally you have like on the top of your chat you have like top chat and you have live chat. Sometimes you have to switch to live chat to see all the comments.
Ben feeling, because Ben says like the facts don't care about your feeling.
Yeah, well,
but with Ben they don't care about the truth either.
yeah, and so that's one of the things is he never actually debates adults, and so
Okay, can we get an example? So Ben Shapiro lies. Like, I hate like, and I said like, give me, when you do something, give me an example. But he's not gonna, because he's disingenuous. And generally, if I checked out the example, I'm sure it would be disingenuous as well.
Oh, it was a time where I genuinely wanted to learn more, because I was astonished by what the chart that you had showed, and I was going, whoa, I've been to Israel, I've been in the orbits. How did I just miss this entire thing? And surely there must be
What, Mr. Graph? What, you've never heard about any war in Gaza? In Gaza, like after October 7th, that wasn't the first operation in Gaza. I feel like that's on you for like not knowing stuff. Like what? The first time you realized there was a war. First time you realized that it's always disproportionate, that obviously Israel will always inflict more casualties on Palestinians because they are better at it. They're better at waging war. I don't think there's anything wrong with ensuing more casualties. I think it's ridiculous, the idea that the only way Israel, like it's like tokens. You can only. Oh, Roman Viking is asking what graph are they talking about. I could probably go look it up. Let's see if I can. Although I'm kind of guessing where it's from. Oh yeah, it is here. So let's see here. This is the. Oh, there we go. That's it. So that's the graph.
Is the going rate?
I think that's probably like every year. Like how many Jews versus how many Palestinians have died, or how many Israelis rather. Although I'm not 100% sure. How many Israelis versus how many Palestinians have died. This is that's the graph. That's what they're referring to. Which again, I don't think there's anything that absolves Palestinians just because they died more.
something else. And once I hosted a big,
like context matters. Israelis died. Roman Viking, and whose numbers are these? I wouldn't necessarily deny it. I'm not gonna be questioning the numbers too much, because again, it's not really, it's not the fundamental issue. And yeah, more Palestinians have died than Israelis, but what's the context, right? Well, what's the context? The Israelis were killed because, let's say, we are talking about October 7 and the post-October 7 world. Israelis have died because Hamas went to war, went to a music festival, went to Kibbutzim, and slaughtered, raped, kidnapped Israelis. Palestinians have died because Israel is defending itself and in the process eliminating the military and some civilians during that, which is a collateral damage. And this is what happens when you start a war against Israel. You get hurt, you die. So I think context matters much more than specific numbers.
Or have a different discussion, then I will see the Israeli way and be able to better defend my positions. And then I very quickly learned that you're not allowed to go down that path. You're not allowed to start asking meaningful questions.
What happened? I mean, sure, she was fired from Daily Wire, but she was able to ask them. She's probably more popular than she's ever been right now, right? So who told you cannot ask those questions? And this is what always happens, like you can't ask this. Who's stopping you? You're stopping yourself. You're saying you cannot ask it. You're in America. You can do whatever you want, for the most part.
And then, of course, I did become really hateful. I tweeted, genocide is always wrong. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
How could?
By the way, okay, no, she's dishonest. She knows what she's doing. When Israel started defending itself by going into Gaza, and you send a message something like genocide is always wrong, that's not like that's not a statement in a vacuum. You are saying Israel is committing genocide. That's what you are saying, right? That's what or rather, that's what you're implying. It's a dog whistle. The same with, I would even say that, I mean, again, it's a dog whistle. Like, you know what you're saying. I don't have to explain the concept of dog whistles. The fact that you say one thing, but you actually mean something else. When you say specifically, nobody says genocide is always wrong, just completely outside of any context. You say that when you want to accuse somebody of doing a genocide and getting away with it, or something like that. And she knows that she's being dishonest. And Bassem Youssef knows it, and he's being dishonest.
I don't know.
Genocide is always wrong. Every single word of this is.
I know. I was
is ground to fire. But here's the thing: I have 3 different stories about Ben Shapiro to show how talented he is about changing the facts in real time.
Oh, okay.
The first story happened very recently in Turning Point, USA, when a young kid came up, like a gentleman. He said started asking about the bombing of the USS Liberty.
Oh my God, he brings up that. All right, let's see.
And the way that Ben Shapiro answered, he was just lying through his teeth very quickly. And he started to say, well, there has been investigation and it was obviously wrong. And it was obvious, and it was proved beyond any doubt that it was a mistake, which wasn't. There was a lot of investigation where they weren't. Actually, the crew of the USS Liberty were threatened. They had a gag order. They couldn't talk. And the beauty about this is that
I don't even think that's but that's the official. Do I want to engage with that? And again, he's just throwing factoids. Okay, I mean, I've never heard of this gag order. I'm only looking up this on ChatGPT. I don't know how I would normally look that up. There's nothing about it. Again, I don't know how to engage with it. Can someone summarize quickly what happened back then? So USS Liberty was an American spy ship that was close to Sinai Peninsula during the 6-Day War. And Israel attacked USS Liberty on that day during the 6-Day War. It was an unfortunate attack because they thought it's an Egyptian ship, Now, so there's like a few things going on. There's I mean, there are different kinds of worries. You know, Israel was obviously very scared of like anything happening, so maybe it didn't check something clearly enough. Again, it paid reparations to the families of the victims, which again is unfortunate. I don't know what would it mean like to fully recover from something like that. We have the recordings from like the pilots. I mean, again, we did some episodes on the USS Liberty. It's a again, it's a conspiracy that doesn't make any sense, right? Like Israel attacked American USS Liberty to just kill Americans. That's pretty much the explanation, because there is absolutely no reason why this is any benefit to it. So these are not lies from Ben Shapiro. I've seen the original recording. We could even watch the original recording, but I don't think we have to. Well, I guess maybe we can have to, because, or we can, because Ben Shapiro might have a better summary than I have just from right now. Yeah, I can find it very easily. Because unlike Joe Rogan, I know context of things and I know when things happen, and I can very quickly find out things outside of asking, what is it, Perplexity to just give me an answer.
Why, therefore, did you call, cited during your speech, truth as the most important tenet of American conservatism? Why, therefore, did you call irrelevant the Israeli attack in 1967 on the USS Liberty, which left dozens of American servicemen dead and hundreds wounded?
The fact that he gets applause is scary.
So what I actually said is that if we're looking at modern Israeli-American relations, looking at an attack that happened mistakenly by multiple Navy reports, multiple Israeli reports, and all available evidence, and using that attack in order to undermine today's relations between Israel and America, that's irrelevant. As irrelevant as it would be to cite a piece of evidence from World War II or from 1776 to define America's relations with, for example, Great Britain or Germany today. That does not mean that the attack wasn't horrible for the Americans involved, that it wasn't bloody and terrible. The Israeli government paid reparations to the people who were killed. If you look at the actual military record of what happened on the USS Liberty, it was clearly a mistaken and tragic attack. The people who frequently cite the USS Liberty, however, are not talking about the specifics of the USS Liberty. I suspect that the vast majority of people who bring this up are doing so in order to suggest that Israel deliberately attacked an American ship because Israel deliberately wants to harm America. It is connected generally with a larger point. I wonder if that's your point.
So yeah, pretty much perfect answer from Ben Shapiro as far as I'm concerned, to sort of explain this, and, you know, to people who are asking in chat. Oh, by the way, Kuwait attacked the... Why are there no conspiracies about Kuwait? Didn't Kuwait shoot down American F-15s? I believe it was F-15s, right? A few weeks ago. Why is there no conspiracy there? I mean, I'm sure they knew. It was American ships, it was American airplanes flying over. Why would they shoot down with their anti-aircraft missiles? Why would they shoot down American airplanes that were in the region? There was communication that they were going to be there. Like, you can make the same thing, right? Although no, oh wait, sorry, Kuwaitis are not Jews, never mind. Ignore all that. Let's go back to Candace and Bassam.
For 15 years, Israel fought this tooth and nail, and they finally paid compensation. You know how much did they pay? $6 million for damages in the USS Liberties, and $6 million for the victims of the USS Liberty. This is the...
Well, let's check it. How much money did Israel pay to the victims? Okay, 3 main stages. So he says fought to the nail. The first compensation came in 68. The war was in 67. This incident happened in 67. Again, just ChatGPT, so that's what you get from me right now. The later payment was made in 69. So the first payment in 68 was 3.3 million, which was given to the families and survivors. Then there was additional payment in 69, which was extra compensation for the families. And then there was 6 million later, 11 years later in 1980, which was about the USS Liberty itself. So overall, let's say the families were paid 7 million. Let's say this was spread equally, right? So it would be about 200,000, well, also survivors. But let's say we are only counting the people who were killed. There will be 200,000 per person killed so 1968 dollars to today's dollars. Let's see. Values of dollars today. So each victim, let's say, has been paid 200,000 in 68. That would have been worth almost $2 million today. So every single family, well, let's say also the victims. So let's say every family was paid $1 million by the Israeli government for this incident. Now, is that enough? Is that not? I'm sure, you know. I mean, there is no amount of money that is enough, right? Like, if your dad or your brother or your son or, you know, your spouse, whatever, not whatever, but like whoever it might be in your family, there's no amount of money that would be okay to bring them back, right? We can only donate enough, or we can only try to give enough compensation to, you know, hopefully, obviously you cannot bring them back, but to give some solace, to give some idea that we are truly sorry, that this was a terrible incident. But why is he bringing up the money part? So let's say every family was paid 100 million. Would that be okay? A billion, trillion. Every family gets $1 trillion. Like, there's no amount of money that he would bring up and say that that was enough.
Value of USS soldiers that were killed in that. And you can see him as he was debating the kid, that he was just making things up. It was already proven. It was already behind the bridge. It's the past. That's the first one. The second time, he was on the morning.
So again, that was wrong completely, but okay.
Show with Charlemagne the God, and Charlemagne asked him, "Did Israel commit genocide?" And he started going through this Jordan Peterson word salad style, just speaking very quickly, having like big talking.
Okay, let's check out that one.
Charlemagne the God. First one.
I
The
don't know
second
the name,
time,
man.
he was on the morning show with Charlemagne the God.
Does anybody know how to spell that name? Ben Shapiro, Show genocide, maybe. Wait, let's. Can I get transcript? I don't think it's Sherman the God.
And second time, he was on the morning show with Charlemagne the God. And
What is that?
time, he was on the morning show with Charlemagne the God. And
God damn it, I don't know what he says. I cannot fact check this. What is this tactic? This is the tactic of people with like French names or whatever, where you cannot fact check them because you cannot ever look up their names apparently. Maybe I can just do Ben Shapiro genocide, and maybe I can find something about this. Charlemagne the God. That seems no. I don't think so. Wait, he said, what was it, morning show? Maybe we could find it like that. Oh. Okay. Oh, it was the Breakfast Club, right? Okay. There we go. I think it's this one, yes. All right, I found it, but we're gonna watch it from Kyle Kolinsky. Unfortunately. Well, let's see if we can just find the actual clip.
That's where we are. So let's watch, and we'll break it down as we go here.
Interesting. I want to go back to your book in a second, but I'm glad you said that because you don't think
He's talking fast.
what's happening in Gaza is a genocide.
Correct.
Okay, but the world's
I think it's better.
leading association of genocide scholars has declared that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza based off the pure definition of.
Well, it's not actually, if you read their actual study, it's not based on the quote unquote pure definition of genocide. They don't actually even define genocide in the document. And they basically went out to their membership, but they didn't go out to the entire membership. They went out to a generic membership. It is very easy to join the International Association of Genocide Scholars. In fact, there were several people yesterday who just signed up and were immediately.
Also, so they're specifically bringing up the international scholars of genocide, which again is not really an institution that was ever reputable on this. It's a membership anybody can join, as you said, and apparently this was also a very controversial decision that they have made. These international scholars, and many people left the organization over this decision.
So admitted, even though they have no actual background in genocide. The question is not whether some sort of coterie of people who call themselves experts in an issue are quote unquote experts on the issue. The question is whether the definition is met. The definition of genocide is not met in Gaza by any stretch of the imagination. And you can cite to me, a group that I hadn't heard of until 2 seconds ago, and nobody had heard of until 2 seconds ago, that voted in a particular way. That doesn't make a difference definitionally.
Again, this is so fucking Weasley. He knows how.
It's not Weasley. Again, it's explaining. Again, nobody heard of this organization before they made this decision. Come on. If you take ICJ or ICC, right? Well, at least that is somewhat established as an authority figure. I don't think it should be, but I can say. But this group, nobody ever heard of, just suddenly pops up. I look up their website. They have decisions going back a long time, but also I think the Gaza decision, there was 2 pages. There was 2 pages. Can I quickly look it up? International, what was it? Genocide scholars. Palestine decision. Okay, a resolution on the situation of Gaza. Yeah, genocide scholars. Wait, can I? All right. So this is the decision from that organization that they are quoting in. It's a 3-page decision. This is what? Imagine somebody saying you committed the worst crime that there is. Genocide is the worst, is the crime of crimes. There is no worse crime. And they explain it in 3 pages? Give me a break. It's a joke. So, and, Ben Shapiro, being on top of things, explained it, I think, again, generally decently well. Let's take a look how Bassem Youssef interprets it.
And Charman asked him on the proven, it was already behind the bridge, it's the past. That's the first one. The second time, he was on the morning show with Charman the God. And Charman asked him, did Israel...
So, it wasn't the morning show, it was the Breakfast Club. But it seems like it's the same thing.
With genocide. And he started going through this Jordan Peterson word salad style, just speaking very quickly, having big talking.
I'm sorry. Let's listen to it again. And are you not able to follow what he's saying? What Ben Shapiro is saying?
Break it down as we go here.
Interesting. I want to go back to your book in a second, but I'm glad you said that because you don't.
And this is sped up. This is sped up. And let me know.
I think what's happening in Gaza is a genocide. Correct. Okay, but the world's leading association of genocide scholars has declared that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza based off the pure definition of.
Well, it's not actually, if you read their actual study, it's not based on the quote unquote pure definition of genocide. They don't actually even define genocide in the document. And they basically went out to their membership, but they didn't go out to the entire membership. They went out to a generic membership. It is very easy to join the International Association of Genocide Scholars. In fact, there were several people yesterday who just signed up and were immediately admitted, even though they have no actual background in genocide. The question is not whether some sort of coterie of people who call themselves experts in an issue are quote unquote experts on the issue. The question is whether the definition is met. The definition of genocide is not met.
So I'm sorry, are you not able to follow what he said? then you might just be stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, if you cannot follow what Ben Shapiro has said, again, you might not agree with what he said, you might disagree, but like, you cannot follow what he says. It's like unbelievable. Yeah, somebody says, if Ben Shapiro is too fast for you, I think that's not a Ben Shapiro problem. It's not, it's dishonest.
It's not a genocide because they intended, and then you can.
He didn't even talk about that it's not a genocide because of da 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 da. He said genocide was not even defined in the thing, and the way they decided was just on a membership vote, and they didn't even explain what genocide is. Which again, I can look up the document. Let's check out the document. Genocide is mentioned 17 times here. Okay, let's check out the document where they decided that. So here it just mentioned they did a genocide. Israel. Okay, it just again saying that it just recognized it's a genocide. Here is talking that children are protected by the Genocide Convention. Again, no definition. Here, Israel. By the way, this is also a misnomer. It's not plausible Israel is committing genocide. It's saying that Israel, or rather that South Africa has a plausible case to make the case for a genocide, which is I think it's like a bare minimum of recognition, or not even. I'm sorry, that Palestinians have a plausible case from being protected from genocide, but nobody cares about the actual words of anything. Here they are talking about incitement of genocide. Again, no definition. Again, talking about that Israel is committing genocide, no definition. Quoting some genocide studies, no definition. That what they are doing is a genocide, no definition. They have a responsibility to prevent genocide, no definition. Genocide Convention, no definition. Punish genocide, no definition. Genocide, no definition. Genocide scholars, no definition. Met the legal definition, but not defining it itself, just saying, just declaring it. Again, saying no definition. Okay, so it's not defined. Again, 3 pages for saying that Israel is committing a genocide. Come on, it's a joke. Let's look at Bassam Youssef more.
Can see Shulman looking at him as like, that motherfucker is lying, but I cannot say how. You know, he's looking at it like, this guy is lying to me, but he cannot.
Again, he doesn't cover anything substantive. That he's not engaging with anything Ben Shapiro has said. He's just saying he's lying.
Pinpointed. The next day, Mehdi Hassan came on the show, and he went through details. Why is Israel committing genocide? But if you're there and he's speaking too fast, you don't know what he's saying, so you cannot respond. And the third story is my favorite.
So stop him. It's your show. If somebody is talking too fast and you cannot respond, well, handle the show. Like, you invite somebody. Well, the other guy did. Like, what is he, baby? He cannot, like, deal with things by himself? Wait, is it Charlemagne the God? Oh, never mind.
Because this was a premeditated, manipulative lie. He talks a lot about how Hamas uses the aid from the European Union to create weapons, right? That's his whole thing. And then he brought in a video with...
Did Ben Shapiro say that Hamas is using the European funds to make weapons? I don't know if that is necessarily fully the case. I think if it said something, it's more like it's enabling it. Again, if Hamas doesn't have to spend money on the welfare of its citizens, it can spend it on money. It can spend it on weapons. But maybe, yeah, Ben Shapiro did say that. I've never really considered that, and I don't think it's that important. I don't care if the specific euros coming from European states are going to weapons. Like, I don't think it's a state that makes weapons to go and kill Jews and Europeans shouldn't receive any money, even if it is for healthcare or whatever.
Hamas and the Palestinian authorities in Gaza digging out water pipes and say, you see, These are the water pipes that are put in by the EU, and this is Hamas extracting them and making weapons from them. The beauty about this clip, that this clip had an Arabic narration. It has Hamas officials talking over it, and they said that they discovered water pipes inside, like being dug from inside Israel to steal their water. So when they discovered
what the fuck does it? What water? What? I'm not. Look. I tried. I found the original USS Liberty clip. I found this clip. I'm not looking for this one. Whatever the fuck that is. Like Hamas digging up pipes because the Jews are stealing water from Palestinians. I don't. Wait. Okay. Let's look. How much water are Palestinians getting from Israel actually? My quick reaction is just a lot. Oh, maybe not. Wait, why did I think? Maybe it's something different? It doesn't... Wait. No, maybe I am wrong on this. So before war, it looks like only 6% of Gaza's water was supplied by Israel. Why did I think it was more? Never mind. That's on me. It might have been electricity. Okay, with electricity it's more like 50 to 60%, so maybe that's what I was thinking about. But I don't know what is this, like Jews are stealing water from Gazans. And so what, they didn't make the weapons out of the pipes? Or is it okay because this was just, you know, Jews stealing water? Oh wait, I guess I could ask that. I mean, maybe again, that like I don't know anything. Maybe this happened. Alright, maybe Israelis can let me know in the chat. Oh, okay, this might be interesting. Oh wait, but this is in the Judea and Samaria. Okay, so there is one specific aquifer in Judea and Samaria, which is partly in the Palestinian territories and partly in the Israeli territories, and both make use of that. But I don't see any supported evidence of actual like stolen. Yeah, so I don't know. Deborah says the truth is Gaza had the best aquifer and left the infrastructure in place in 2005. Hamas then dug those pipes up for rockets, so then Israel had to supply water. I mean, that was my understanding. So again, like, give me a break.
They dug it out and they used as weapons against Israel. So he took like a video knowing exactly what their narration is, and he changed it. And actually, a shout out to Wali Rashid. You actually brought like a video from him in your show before about the little malls, the little Israeli nodes in the malls, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like little spy nodes in the US malls.
That's right.
So this is like 3 examples how this guy lies intentionally. He lies with purpose. He knows exactly what he's saying, whether it was like if he's...
So these were 3 examples from Bassam Youssef, but all of them are either conspiracies or not true, or that Ben Shapiro was right. So that's how much honesty you can expect for this guy. And that's my biggest problem when it comes to like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for example. Like it's there's just no honesty coming from the other side. Like I could give some, again, if I needed to, I can give some perspective for why Palestinians or why Arabs are doing what they're doing, explaining their actions. But from these guys, it's all just genocidal maniacs.
Put on the spot or he's asked a question that he has to make up, or he's making up a complete fake fact out of thin air.
Yeah, and it's
she's just gonna agree.
I mean, I don't really. I always start by saying I'm going to get in trouble, but I don't really care. Because I think
you passed this point.
humanity just needs to be over all of this. Like
the Jews? It needs to be over the Jews. What is she saying?
The fear of telling the truth is something that.
Oh my God! What? She thinks she's like Galileo, like she's going to be hanged from saying that. Well, she will be hanged for the opposite thing. She will probably hang Galileo. Now that I'm thinking about it, but like that she's like this truth sayer. You can lie, you can say truth, you can do whatever you want. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Yeah, you might lose your job. You know, when you start like spreading anti-Semitism and your boss is a Jew, it gets kind of hard. You know, it's what do you expect? I mean, you should. If you are anti-Semitic, like, you should lose your job. If you are bigoted, you should lose your job. That's what should happen. If somebody is like so immoral, like. The more immoral you are, the less likely should people want to interact with you, I think. Unless you break the law, or unless you do something that violates other people's individual rights, I don't think you should be put in jail, but people shouldn't engage with you.
Is so scary to consider that so many human beings are allowing terrible things to happen because there's this like quiet fear that you'll be penalized for speaking the truth. And that's what I gave up in 2025. 2026 Candace, I'm not keeping anybody's secrets. But to your point about the U.S.
Holy shit, is this the new Candace? Was the 2025 Candace the holding back Candace?
As liberty, just to show you how far this goes in terms of protecting the secret, I hosted, Phil Turney sent me a letter, and one of the survivors of the USS Liberty. When I tell you it was the most meaningful sit down I've ever had in my life. And I rarely will I say that, like, everyone looked like they were going to cry here when he went through and what he lived through. And you listen to him, you just know he's telling the truth. You don't even need to hear anything else.
Why? Because he's lying about the Jews? Again, he was on a spy ship that was attacked by Israel. I think it was tragedy, shouldn't have happened. But so let's say, so we have the pilots, again, they were shot down. I think one of them was a woman, right? They were shot down by Kuwait during this Iran war. Let's say this woman, or the other guy, who I think was a man. Let's say they come in and they have this heart-wrenching story about like how Kuwait did it on purpose because they just want to kill Americans. Would we just like automatically trust them when there's no evidence? At least I haven't seen any evidence that this was like done on purpose. I don't think it makes sense for Kuwait to shoot down American planes. But what is the difference between Israel friendly firing on USS Liberty? Technically not even friendly fire, because no ship was supposed to be in that area, and America wasn't an ally with Israel at that point. But still a neutral, or at least somebody that should have been involved. Let's listen a little bit more from Candace, and I think we're done after that.
Emotionality still lives in him, and since from time he was 20 and now he's 76, that he just wants the story to be told about what happened to his mates on that boat. And I did this episode with him, met him, looked him in the eye, cried with.
Okay, no, we're good. And we watched the original of that, which people can look up if they're interested. So yeah, this was the members on the segment, where we covered a little bit more from Candace and Bassam Youssef. We also looked into what he actually said, realized it's all BS, it's all lies. That's what they do. Yep, there's no honesty coming from the pro-Palestinian crowd. Because if there was honesty, they wouldn't be pro-Palestinian, right? That's the actual genocidal culture, unlike what they claim it is. Well, with this, thank you everybody for joining me today. As I said, we won't be on tomorrow, but we will be back on Sunday, back to covering this war, and as well as many other things. Deborah says Kuwait shot down 3 F-15s, so 6 pilots were shot down. Is she just asking questions about that? Oh, did I think it was only 2 people because I think we had videos from the 2 people, because the Kuwaitis that found them actually recorded a video of them. But yeah, you're right. It might have been or maybe the other pilots were just shot or managed to get to safe sooner. But okay, you might be right. It might have been 3 F-15s. I thought it was 2 though. But yeah, you're right. It's you know, well, no, she's not asking questions about that because it's not the Jews. Although they might connect it. And again, what's the difference? What's the difference between USS Liberty and like the F-15s? Because people didn't die, right? It's not big enough for people to care. Well, with that, thank you. As again, this is a bit of a unique thank you for your support, because the only way for you to be here is to be a regular supporter of ARCUK, and we appreciate all of you. That's why we will keep bringing this to you. Secret Bassing says it's 2 over Kuwait due to friendly fire. Okay, I thought it was 2. Well, people can look it up if they're interested. I don't think it matters that much. Again, I think it was friendly fire. Kuwait apologized for it. And thankfully nobody was hurt. They were able to eject. And yeah, one was recently. But the one recently was shot down by... the one recently was... well, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, more. And hopefully, yeah, I think we currently are missing 1 pilot, so hopefully they will be found and they will be rescued. Again, thank you for joining today, and we will see you on Sunday. Bye bye.